Recorded in the pits of Detroit, Michigan. Your ass is listening to Radio Underground. Shit.
Radio Underground, episode 79. We're locked down again, but we're still doing the show.
79.
79's a good number.
It's 10 more. It's 10 more better.
Oh no, I just meant because the year I was born was 1979, so it's a good year.
Good.
Well, we're rebels. We're going against the establishment by
nothing in the world can stop us. No one. As soon as I
we are going to bring everything. We're going to bring this to you live every week, no matter what.
I'm not an activist. As soon as they come in here, you need to stop. Okay,
got it. Yeah. Whatever you say, sir.
We're so sorry.
I'm not going to jail.
Please don't fine us.
Some dickhead with a fucking Guy Fawkes mask is going to throw a Molotov cocktail through your window tonight.
Yeah.
There's 4 people from different households in there.
Well, speaking of it,
you're gonna kill people that kill you for it. Like, what? Yeah. You're missing the point.
Thanks.
I told Alan about this, but I didn't tell Mike. I was going to wait till tonight to tell him. But so Monday I had to leave work and go home because Danielle was sick, and there was a chance she might have been exposed. We all had to get tested, which would have sucked because she would have been exposed on Saturday, and then I was here Saturday night. So I'm like, maybe I should message Mike. I'm like, you know what? Because if I don't have it, he's just going to panic along with me for the next 2 days. Yeah. So I didn't bother telling him. Guess what? I was negative. Or was I? Maybe I'm just giving you guys herd immunity.
I do got a question. Like, what does the came into contact with mean?
You're around them.
Well, they tell you to wear the mask because primarily you're going to get it through your nasal passages or your mouth.
No, but like the come into contact thing is so much of a gray area.
Okay. There may have been somebody at a place she was at and had it. And then she got sick 2 days later.
Like at work. So this was how I was told. At work, one of the guys at work, he dumped his bike and he broke his ankle. So he was off work. Mm-hmm. So none of us had seen him, but he contracted COVID while he was out. If he would have been at work, and contracted it while he was out somewhere, we would have all had to been tested. So we were able to, because he hadn't been working like 3 weeks, but he did call and say, I have COVID.
That's why it was so weirded out about this whole, like, well, it doesn't matter now because we shut the fucking restaurants down again, but they had the contact tracing. And I wasn't really clear how that worked. So it's like, I went to a couple places, like bars or restaurants, and they were like, no, can you please sign the piece of paper with your name and number? Also, if you can't do that, you're fucking mentally retarded, because if you need a reservation at a restaurant, you give them your name and your fucking number.
Right.
So regardless, so I went to these places. I was like, so what happens? So like, I write down, I was at such and such place, give my name and number. And then maybe like, 5 days later, someone calls me, was like, just so you know, that place you were at, someone tested. Okay, well, I sat at a fucking table with my girlfriend 6 feet from, I didn't have any contact with anybody.
Right. And were you inside or were you outside?
Well, I've been inside.
Oh, that's true, yeah. I saw you guys were outside a couple days ago at a place.
Oh, yeah. But like, unless it's my server, like, who the fuck cares? Like, I didn't.
Right.
They don't even let you. Like, I was talking to another table one time, and the person that worked there was like, "Whoa, like no interaction between tables." It's like, what are we doing?
You can talk from 6 feet away.
No, we've just jumped to stupid.
Back to your wife, Brian. Did she just get a cold or something?
Well, she didn't have a fever. Okay, she just got. We thought it was like her period.
Oh, okay.
Because when she gets them, it's pretty bad because she only gets them every 3 months because of the birth control implant she has. So it's really bad when she gets it. And she started getting that way. I'm like, oh, it's your period. But it was like so much more than usual, and it was so quick. I'm like, crap, what's wrong with you? And she called the doctor. He's like, okay, you guys should probably get tested. So I had to leave. And his thinking is that she just like she had that plus also maybe like a stomach bug that went along with it.
Yeah.
But no, we had to wait 2 days for results, but we were negative.
Do you want to know a secret?
They came to our house too and gave us the test. I didn't have to leave. They came right, said, come out on the porch, came out. They shoved it in there. It sucked.
Yeah. Matt, he had a scare too.
Yeah.
And all them kids were all like climbing all on my ma and everything.
Oh gosh.
And there was a scare.
Well, that's what I was worried about. I'm like, that was my number one worry, is that because I was with her. She came home at like noon that day and she was okay. But I was with her for like the next 8 hours. And then I came here, and then you could have indirect exposure, and then you go next door to your mom's the next day.
Yeah.
That was like my main concern. Because my mom's like, well, did your kids get tested? I'm like, Mom, we were negative. She's like, well, yeah, but what about? I'm like, they haven't left the house in 2 fucking weeks. They're not going to leave for another 2 weeks. What the fuck do they need to get tested for?
I had a runny nose and a hoarse voice for about Tuesday and Wednesday, but it completely went away. No fever, no nothing.
Yeah,
so.
but then we have 40-degree weather and 65
Yeah, it's a weather change. Yeah, everybody sounds. The thing is, for a while, I was really paranoid. I kind of just want to get it. I want to know.
Just to build up the immunity?
Yeah, just like someone just give me like a light form of it.
I just want you guys to know that all the sicknesses
no
and illnesses that existed from the beginning of time before COVID, those still exist right now.
No.
Yeah.
Like
weren't they all eradicated?
Yeah, I like how the numbers they inflate to scare the shit out of you, but like the regular flu's like gone. It's like I think they might be tacking on to scare people, get that 35 grand.
That was my other.
We didn't cure the fucking flu. I'm sorry, it's still there.
My buddy got tested because he got real sick and then got really, really sick after that. And he got tested, and he had the flu, but he also had COVID.
Yeah,
so he had two separate things.
Said the same thing. You knew a COVID flu guy both.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You guys remember coughing? That was pretty. You remember that?
I hold it in. I don't cough at all in front of people.
I miss coughing.
Dude, I sneeze and my mom's like, "Are you all right?" I'm like,
"Yeah." You didn't have allergies before COVID. Like, oh wait, yeah, you did.
I forgot. I forgot the basement's completely dust free. I live in a damp fucking basement. Oh, I forgot it's dust
like
free.
If you sneeze or something at work, like everybody just kind of stops.
Dude, it feels like you said the N-word.
Another thing.
Yes,
that's another thing too.
Coughing and sneezing is the new equivalent to the N-word. It's just as bad.
There are 3 particular machines that I run on a regular basis that are like they're completely enclosed, and they're like a grinding machine. So the wheels are spinning at a very high volume, and it's the oil mists through the whole thing. So when it's done and I open it and I spray the part off with an air hose, I kind of have to open the door and make sure the mist gets out, because if I don't, I immediately start sneezing.
Super spreader.
It goes
super
right,
spreader.
And so I have to watch it, because every time I do, I see people like looking at me. I'm like, it's the freaking oil, I mean.
Yeah. Well, my coworker went to Florida because his dad passed away.
Yeah.
And he came back.
Yeah,
he came back. He missed one day because he was sick, and he's been coughing now for 3 weeks. I'm like, Tim, have you been tested, man? He's like, no. I'm like, you have it. I like. There's something wrong with you,
Right.
Yeah.
Because you're still coughing 3 weeks later.
Wait, is Florida a hot spot for it? What was it?
Well, he went on a plane though.
Oh yeah, that's true. A
From-
tube
you know-
full of recycled air.
Yeah, and he's like, he comes back sick, and I'm like, Tim,
Well, yeah,
you have it. He's like, yeah. Anyone in your family get it? He goes, oh yeah, the kids are sick. The whole family's sick.
Oh, my God.
Like Tim, thanks. Well, now I know that I was exposed to it and lived, but still,
Right.
It's like,
Damn.
I think the thing that drives me the most nuts is like this has really showed like the selfishness of society, because like anything that you like to do doesn't spread COVID at all, but the things that you don't like to do, you just shame everybody for doing those things, and that's the thing that spreads COVID. It's like if you don't
Yeah.
enjoy that activity, or you don't enjoy doing that thing, that's the thing that spreads COVID, not anything you do.
Well, I like that we've all, at least when this all started, basically happened in March and stuff. Seems like we've all learned a lot and grown from this, and oh wait, no, we haven't, because toilet paper is fucking going
off
out
the
shelves again. That's right. We didn't learn shit.
yeah, there wouldn't be shortages. There wouldn't be shortages if you just got what you need.
No,
You
you
don't
got
need to get
to
everything.
stock up for the next 6
Yeah,
months.
like
I
if
have
everybody just got what they needed, it would be okay.
yeah.
I
So
have
we
an
learned
itchy
nothing.
butt.
And if there's real food shortages, your little hoarding is going to be, you're going to run out in a month anyway.
Yeah.
You've extended your life a month.
Is it really even like, I don't know, like maybe it is, but I mean, I'm sure like the hoarding happens, but the times I've been to the grocery store, it just seems like everybody's just trying to get a little bit extra because they don't know what is going to happen.
Well, we've always done that because we always have our pantry stocked with like canned goods and stuff. It's all we've always been. So if we go to the store, we know we're shopping for 2 weeks.
Just eat yourself
We're getting a
fat.
couple extra things every time, so we're keeping our pantry
but
stocked.
specifically toilet paper.
I can
So
live off my
Toilet
body
paper,
fat.
no.
I haven't. I mean, all the times I've been to the store, even since March, I've never seen anybody with like some absurd amount of toilet paper. Like,
Well, because they're not letting you take more than like 2 packs.
Yeah.
but it's like,
So they just keep coming back in.
so I have a 12,
Yeah, that's the thing. You can just come back in.
I have a 12 pack in my basement.
Yeah.
and I have 4 rolls in my bathroom closet. Mm-hmm. It's appropriate amount of toilet paper.
Sure.
For
But
2
I-
people, yeah.
But I wouldn't lie if I said that if I go to the store, I would just like to grab another pack because I don't know when it's going to be. If I
Sure.
saw it, I grab. So if everybody has that mindset too, it's kind of perpetuating.
But that's you know what,
the
but
problem.
but not really. If you're only picking up one extra, I don't see where that's that big of an issue.
I don't
These
think
people
it's-
were buying.
Trying to buy.
They were trying to buy. They were going back in and buying.
They
and
were
buying.
going back, yeah.
They're. I mean, I don't even drive, and there were times that I was getting driven to work, and I saw people with whole back seats filled.
Oh,
with
see,
toilet paper.
I've never seen that.
Yeah.
So.
It was. I mean, that was like in the first couple weeks when they were announcing it. I'm like, is that a car full of toilet paper? And it was. It was a car full of toilet paper.
My mom's got the mother load of wet wipes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. You
But
need
see,
wet
like,
wipes.
our brother works at,
He,
Costco.
he hooked me up.
So
once,
he
too.
hooked us up.
Yeah.
he-
Because they get first dibs. When
Those
stuff comes in.
double roll Costco rolls, because we actually had a pack of those
Yeah.
during those last forever.
Oh,
But
that's
the
what we
thing,
always
like
get.
he basically brought us an extra one over. We're good. I mean, I got like 2 shelves on. We got it's a 4-tier shelf, and there's 2 shelves. One's full of paper towel, one's full of toilet paper.
Hanging out in front of my house. Hold on.
All right,
Okay, we'll keep on talking about toilet paper.
And,
Wait, you don't have extra toilet paper. He's not out here to rob you, is he?
I have.
It's Whitmer. She's coming to shut down there.
It's the government.
So what's this say? Oh yes, I do have an itchy butt. Do I have pinworm? I don't know.
Is this good for the?
I don't know.
What's going on?
Oh,
There's
we
somebody
always go
just jumped
silent?
up.
I hear talking.
Somebody just jumped up. Who are you? What do you want?
Mike's voice sounds jovial, so nothing to worry about.
Oh,
Right? You're like, yeah, I'm just putting this cat. Like, I thought you ran him over or something.
They were
your
just
cat's
like,
okay though.
Random dudes.
They were just walking around petting a cat.
No, it was. I know they live across the street.
Oh, okay.
The non-drug.
Non-heroin
The
one.
non-heroin using ones.
Get those motherfuckers away from my
Now,
Jeep.
if people were trying to do a little bit of the hoarding and stuff with food and all that other stuff, I would understand that a little bit more. But the fact that they're hoarding paper goods is just so stupid to me.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean,
Because if this is the end and something happens and it's the end of the world, you're not going to live if you have extra toilet paper, but if you're hoarding food, and maybe like you said, you'll give yourself a little bit more time to live. But what the fuck's the toilet paper?
You
gonna
know,
do?
one of the big
Wipe your
problems,
ass with some fucking leaves.
the people there was a lot of people
There's
that
no
were
caloric
doing,
intake and
they were
papers.
buying the hand sanitizer and they were buying the toilet paper and they were selling it for 5 times the amount.
That one dude got in, was it Tennessee that got busted hardcore?
Dude,
And
he bought like 16 grand worth of fucking sanitizer,
Yeah.
and then he got busted and he couldn't get rid of any of it.
fuck that guy so hard, man.
Yep.
Well, even some of the local businesses were doing like Randazzo.
Yep.
I'm gonna put you on the spot, Randazzo. Not the fruit one over here. The one all you just buy is fruit and stuff, and it's kind of scummy. But the fancy ones, the fancy Randazzos.
Oh, the Hall Road one?
The Garfield one and 16 Mile.
The Hall Road one I could spend a day at. They got some good samples.
So
there.
when everything started happening, they were taking $3 cases of water, and all of a sudden they were $9 and trying to sell these cases of water for
that's
$9.
like Woodstock type shit.
Yeah,
Woodstock
insane.
99.
And guess what? Someone took a picture and they got in trouble for price gouging. And
They
stuff.
can. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's just like when 9/11 happened.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, they started selling stuff.
9/11.
9/11.
What's that?
Yeah. The day that it happened,
Never forget.
the day that it happened, the gas stations down the street from where I worked immediately went from it was like $1 at the time. It was only $1.80 something a gallon, and they shot up to $5. It just all the way across, flat out, just $5 a gallon.
Yep.
And that was, in fact, that was the reason. Like I'd never in the governor's election, I had no intention of voting for Jennifer Granholm until she got all those people back. And I said, okay, if she's going to do stuff like that, then I regret it now. But
In 4 years, you're going to be blown away. I just remember that.
I've sucked a dick. Didn't even know it.
But yeah, so that
it's
was
true.
the price gouging.
I didn't know.
I don't get it.
I was a kid,
Remember
man.
Sheed.
I was a kid, man. I didn't know.
Didn't her husband take her last name?
Yes.
Yeah. Granholm's husband
Yes.
took her last name.
Yes.
I'm not surprised by it.
Yeah. Oh,
What a
dude.
cook.
Dude,
He's such a
there's-
cock.
There's
What a cook.
Hey,
Cuck.
there's only
Cum-eating cream pie cleanup boy.
in that
Yes.
relationship. There's only one individual with the dick, and it ain't him.
No. I think that's a dick on her face. That thing is growing in her face.
Another thing about fucking 9/11 is
But she nailed those
I know,
fuckers
what's
though. She made all those gas stations. It was 97. They had to do it for like so many days. 97 cents a gallon.
to give back money,
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I want a dictator powers to take care of?
Yeah.
The people that are hoarding the Xboxes and PlayStations and selling them for double the price.
That's insane.
Frank's
dude, $1,300 for a PS5.
I know
on
Frank
eBay.
hasn't put his on eBay yet.
Well, I guess
But-
it's good thing you don't like PS5, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. They're doing it with Xboxes.
They're
too.
doing with Xbox. Frank bought 2 Xboxes, one for himself and one to put on eBay. He hasn't done it yet, but it's become there's such a shortage now. Like I wasn't going to buy one, but now I'm like a kid. Like, well,
Yeah.
now, Frank, what do you want for that thing? I'm your friend here.
The supply demand shit's weird because like I've never been a sneakerhead.
No.
I usually only have about 3 pairs of shoes to choose from at any given time, and then when those take a shit, I just try to buy another one. But Reebok put out Ghostbusters
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
tennis shoes, and I was like, those look fucking awesome.
I want
I'm gonna
them.
buy. This will be the first time I ever buy a pair of tennis shoes that costs more than they should cost.
Yeah.
And they were only like $100, which for given Jordans and all that bullshit, it's not that bad. So I went to go, I did the pre-sale, picked my size. They're like, you're all set. They'll arrive to you in 2 weeks. And then 2 weeks came, like, we had to cancel your order. We ran out of inventory. Awesome.
Well, that's the other thing I hate. Why cancel my order? Just how about you hold on to my order, and when you have more,
Oh no, they're not getting any more.
Oh, it's just
it was
limited release?
It was a one-time limited release. Yeah. So
but-
my pre-sale didn't mean shit.
but that's the shit we're going through with the fucking consoles now. Because I was on the same page as Mike, but then when I found out I can basically rent to own
What's the cost
An Xbox.
if you were just to buy one and you could get one?
$500.
Okay.
They retail at $500.
Yeah.
And then there's a cheaper Xbox which will do anything. Like you guys that don't game, I would get the Series S, and that's $300.
There's no disc drive.
There's no disc drive.
It's slightly
perfect.
slightly less powerful.
You don't
but it's
need a-
not the
So
same.
what's the disc drive just to put games in?
Or put it-
like the
Most people modern day is for Blu-ray.
Yeah,
Because-
it's your Blu-ray player.
And I've got into many arguments with
Or
Frank.
older games, right?
Yeah.
Or older games.
But
But
with-
even though a lot of those are on the Game
Yeah.
Pass or digital and stuff.
Yeah, you got people that still like the disc drive. I'm like, dude, you have to download the rest of the game from the internet. The disc is just basically a key code.
Yeah.
Everything being tied to the internet and Wi-Fi is really awesome until you don't have that.
Right.
So,
That's true.
No, I'm not even like joking. Like when we like
Until you live where me and you live, Jay.
yeah. Like when our Wi-Fi went down, it was really refreshing to still have a Blu-ray player to throw a fucking movie in.
Yeah.
Just to watch something.
Right.
Well, I have a PS3, and the only reason I have it, and I have 10 games, because I'm worried about that day when the satellites go down. I can still play some video games.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I have
You
a-
you guys are getting ready with paper towel and stuff.
I
I'm
have
getting
a-
ready with a PS3.
I have a DVD/VCR player
Yeah.
still, but
Yeah.
I don't have any VHS tapes. But
I got a couple. I found The Sixth Sense,
I got
the X-Files movie.
I got Stranglemania
Do you?
at VHS.
Wow.
I have
That's
a few
great.
DVDs.
I
But
think I still have CKY 2K.
Mm-hmm.
I have that one.
I got that too, actually.
Wow. I don't have many. I got rid of them a long time ago. I didn't even have DVDs at all because I don't have a DVD player.
This might,
Everything's digital.
this might be a repeat.
I do
but
now,
Like,
but-
we were curious one time what the last VHS movie ever made was.
That's a good question.
I think we talked about this before, or maybe I talked with other
Yeah, I don't
people.
think it was me.
You'd think it'd be a Disney movie, right?
Not necessarily.
I thought it would
I'd
be.
say
Because
porn.
they probably made the transition before a lot of people.
would say
but still
Some
making
kind of
VHS
porn.
for the
Probably
old
like that
heads.
transitional
Yeah.
period. Jenna Jameson.
I'm pretty sure if I'm correct, it was History of Violence was the last movie made
That's a good
on
movie.
VHS.
That is a good movie.
Yes.
I saw that movie at Frank's house on his PS2, but it was a DVD rental.
Nope.
Right. That's Viggo Mortensen, Naomi Watts, and
Yeah.
William Hurt.
William
plays his
Hurt.
brother. Yeah. Is that the movie? There was another. So
So it wasn't-
Eastern Promises was the other one that I'm.
that
thinking
was the
of.
one where him and the naked sauna fight.
There was a point where Viggo Mortensen was in like every fucking movie for like 2 years.
That's because of the Lord of the Rings. And stuff.
So the
And then
last,
also The Road and shit
so I
like
guess
that.
the last VHS movie made was not a porn.
No, it was a history of violence.
I'm pretty sure it was History of Violence. We
They
looked it
did
up
have
in a-
that awkward
But we were
fuck
talking
scene on the
there
stairs
was
in that
a-
movie.
I don't
Mike
remember
made
that.
a good point about like different jobs that are becoming they're phasing them out, and Mike brought up one about porn.
Yeah, the porn extra, because there's no plots anymore. It's
No.
just all like here.
It's just scenes.
It's even like a lot of times it's even their actual name.
Yeah.
It's not even a porn name. It's
Yeah.
just some girl like, I'm Kelly Smith from Cuyahoga Falls,
Yeah,
fucking
they-
wherever.
Cuyahoga Falls.
They're not really they're not making any actual plots to any movies or anything. It's just it's
Well,
just
if
yeah,
you-
so,
basically
yeah, the
fucking,
porn
you know?
extra are like, hey, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
if you
you
want to
don't
take it
have
one
those
step
guys.
further, what they're doing now is most of the stuff is POV stuff. There's not even a cameraman at half of them. They just have the guy has a camera attached to him.
Yeah.
While he's fucking.
Yeah. It's
So there's no cameraman there.
I've saw the weird part of that behind the scenes
Where
where,
they
there's
show the guy
actually
over
a
the
guy reaching around him with
Yeah.
the camera holding him.
and there
like,
is in those cases, but a lot of the guys are directing. A lot of the guys direct the stuff themselves, and they just
a miner's helmet with a camera on it.
basically, you know. So oh yeah, we forgot to say, hey, Jay's here again.
Yeah, it's
for the
Jay.
first time in a while.
What happened?
Paige is asking, hey, is that you?
he
And
said
it's
your
you.
he said your actual
Yeah,
name.
he typed out your full name.
I don't know how to remove
Do I
it.
know who that is?
Yeah, it's Paige.
Paige.
Super tall Paige.
I'd have to see. Maybe.
Chris and Racky's
it's
brother.
Racky's brother.
Okay.
You know him.
Okay.
We'll get into it later.
Paige, you left out his address and social security number. Too.
Yeah, phone number and
Yeah, but that's him.
likes and dislikes.
What's your tax ID number?
Yeah. What's his IP?
Yeah,
Put
there you
that
go.
on here. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you know him. Yeah, but yeah, that is who you said it was, Paige.
What up?
is.
What up?
Yeah.
You got doxxed.
So
Brian Callen.
Oh, the one thing I was gonna say though, like, does the Rudy Giuliani that exists now even seem like the hero from 9/11?
no.
Yeah.
That dude is, and that dude's having a rough. That dude's having
And
a rough
look,
couple
man,
weeks.
I was all like back then. I mean, that guy went to thousands of funerals during that time. I mean, he went to so many funerals.
Everybody loved him.
He was normal.
He's a fucking straight nut now, and he's at
I agree with him. I think he's right.
He's had a rough couple of weeks though between the Borat shit, the landscaping company, and now his head leaking.
Oh,
and he's gonna.
That was just like, what the hell was that leaking from the side of his head? Was it just something in his hair and he got
don't know.
sweaty?
Yeah, but who's dyeing their fucking balding gray hair?
I don't know. Not me.
Brian Catlin. Do you know another person's name?
Brian can
Read your messenger.
Messenger.
But yeah, I just did you see somebody? I think it was in the church made it where it was like the lady squatting and it looks like stuff coming out of her, whatever's leaking out of his head.
Oh,
That was terrible.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, I figured you did. He's really tall.
He knows you.
Yeah, he definitely knows you.
I know him through a Brian.
You just look familiar.
No, that's definitely, you know him through a friend of a friend or something.
Yes,
Friend of a friend.
but yeah, like the Giuliani's had a rough couple weeks here.
Yeah.
That 4 Seasons landscaping shit killed me
Dude,
so hard.
that's
'Cause
great.
At what point don't you get there and be like, yeah, let's kill this. Let's not do this.
No, just no.
Power
show
on
up.
through. Power on through.
Everybody show up. Yeah.
Well,
I wish I still did fantasy sports because I would just have my team just be 4 Seasons fantasy hockey team at this point.
I can't wait for hockey.
Oh yeah.
I heard we're already gearing up for basketball again.
Yeah.
Like it's going to start
Christmas.
December? Yeah. that's-
December 22nd.
which is crazy. They just ended.
Well, normally it would already have been started.
No, I'm saying,
But-
given what we just went through, though, like
Yeah. I mean,
I thought we were going to go maybe
They're gonna go-
February.
I thought too, but it's
They should. They
This is
should
a-
just do it in February, and basketball should be a
Summer sports.
summer sport.
And they're not doing the bubble this time.
Well, who knows now? I don't know if they were planning on it or
Well,
what.
because WWE had their Thunderdome set up at the Orlando Magic's arena, and now that's
Thunder.
it's Thunderdome.
what they called it. They have all these LED screens. It actually looks kind of cool. They're moving that to the Tampa Bay Rays Stadium,
okay.
I think. The shitty one that's indoors.
The
Is that-
Tropicana Field.
yeah,
Yeah,
that place sucks.
it's the worst from what I hear.
It looks like shit from TV. So
It looks like total shit. They're like, hey, you know what? We're going
They,
to improve this place. We're going to do all kinds of improvements. And they put a fucking aquarium out.
That fixes everything.
What the fuck?
they may end up getting a new stadium now.
Yeah, if they keep winning,
Yeah.
you know,
Winning without a payroll.
that's true.
I mean,
They went to a World Series without a payroll.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
well, that's funny. You mentioned WWE because Mike had brought it up before about the Undertaker. Now,
Yeah, when he was wrestling, he was like the biggest kayfabe. He kept his character. He
Oh,
stayed
yeah.
in character more than anybody.
Always.
But now he's
That's what
like, he's like a social media star, and he's Mark Calloway
he's
now.
got a TikTok.
did you hear,
That's
did you
what
hear
He's like
about,
the nicest guy in the world. He's like, yeah, man, remember?
I'm like,
did you hear about the Cameo? So
No.
he jumped on Cameo, and he set it at $1,000. But he's like, I'm only going to do a maximum of 30 a day because it's the 30th anniversary of the Undertaker.
Yeah.
He didn't know how much it was going to like. He knows his worth, but he didn't know how popular it was going to be. He had 30 grand in the bank by the afternoon.
Wow.
So 30 people paid $1,000 each
for him to do the cameo
to do the
thing?
Cameo. So my man worked from his house, talking into his phone for probably 3 hours of his time, and made 30 grand in a day.
God knows.
So, and I don't know if that was a one-time thing or if he's gonna he'd be stupid not to just be on Cameo tomorrow and do it again.
Yeah, I like the Undertaker, but I'm not paying him to say stuff for me.
Well, when
not $1,000.
when Brian sent me the bullet points, he wrote, it said the Undertaker spent his career never breaking kayfabe. I didn't know. I'm like,
Alan's not a wrestling fan.
No, if you're not a wrestling fan, you don't know the terms.
He actually
man.
did Hot Ones the other day.
yeah, but I just didn't
Yeah,
know.
I watched that today.
I didn't
Yeah.
watch it yet. I forgot.
And I was like, I go, what the fuck? I go, I just assumed breaking character.
I honestly
I
just-
go, it must have autocorrect.
All I did was copy and paste and send them to you.
Yeah.
So I didn't even think
The
about
Undertaker's an old head,
Anything
man.
about
He's
it,
always been protective of the character, never wanted to break Mystique.
No, that's why it's awesome.
And back in the early 90s, they used to send him to Regis and Kathy Lee. And he's like, I fucking hated that shit, dude. He's like, I had to sit there and just I wouldn't talk. So he's like, I just had to grunt, be like, because he didn't want to break the character.
No, that's.
Yeah.
I should have translated the bullet points for you, Alan. I'm sorry.
No. It's just now I know it's called a kayfabe.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Everybody breaks kayfabe now. It's, you know.
Yeah, they all have Twitter and shit.
Yeah.
They're like in their character, like they're supposed to be the bad guy and the heel, and then the next thing they retweet some fucking charity for starving kids. Like,
Yeah.
Which
you're
is
not
fine.
mean. You're not mean.
Everybody.
But you're not a heel.
I've always
You're
looked at-
heel. You're supposed to want starving kids.
Other than being like a little kid, I've always like since being like maybe 12, I've looked at wrestling as a movie. So like I knew like if I see Hulk Hogan and No Holds Barred or Suburban Commando,
Yeah.
I know he's
Those are only two you got to mention. Anything else is not worth
he
it.
does other things.
What about that TV show?
No, let's not talk about Thunder in Paradise.
Or what was the other one? The,
Billy Blanks.
Three Ninjas. Was he the
High Noon at Magic Mountain or something like that?
High Noon at Magic Mountain?
That's what I swear to God, it was something
It's
like
something like that.
Yeah, but no,
And they gave him a full head of hair.
No Holds Barred. They both suck. Don't get me wrong, but those are probably the cream of the crop.
Undertaker's in Suburban Commando on the ship. Remember,
Yeah.
he's like, "You're a dead man, Ramsey."
I don't, remember when Zeus killed Blood Wrench with hot steam?
Yeah. Yep.
Peter Dinklage was in that too.
Yeah, he was.
Wait, what?
Peter Dinklage was in No Holds Barred.
Yep.
Is he?
Yep.
Yeah.
I
He's the midget.
I don't even remember a midget in that movie right now.
He's in the bar that Stan Henson was like the resident tough guy. He beat anyone that came in there. He beat people up like locally at that bar.
Well,
and he was like he was kind of dangled over the ring, kind of going yeah, like doing midget stuff
yeah,
midgets.
like you do, like midgets do.
as midgets do.
That's all they do.
They're programmed to do
Well,
that
I went
sort
back
of
and
thing.
watched it, and I saw his brother, and you guys probably don't know, but I was watching it, and it's like his brother is Lucifer from Supernatural.
Oh, really?
I don't know what that is. Yeah,
Supernatural is a TV show.
I know the show. I never watched it.
You're missing out.
It's over now.
Yeah, it just
Last night
ended.
was the
Last night was the last
My
show.
buddy
Thursday.
Tony was talking about it's like 10 seasons of it or something.
15.
15. Okay.
When
It got out of hand.
When the guy wrote it, the guy who wrote it, when he created it, he was just hoping like
5.
that he would end up. He's like, if I can get a couple seasons, but he had basically like 15 or 5 seasons in his head, and he's like, well, if I get to 5, I mean that's magical. We'll just call it a day. But everybody loved it. He had this crazy
Was
cult
it
following.
popular until the end?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
straight
it's
up.
still-
What
Are you
channel was
kidding
that?
Oh, it's on the CW.
Yeah. Oh, it's crazy.
I think
popular.
it's at least they don't have
But they
many
make
shows.
they make fun of themselves a lot too, But
Maybe
I mean,
they're not
it's
too long.
But I mean, like, yeah, on Instagram, I went to go and put one Supernatural page on there so I could follow what's going on with the end of the show because I watched them, Fucking, I start getting all these people following me. Oh, there's so many fucking pages,
Yep.
so many different ones about it. It's insane. So now I got a whole bunch of like all the actors and stuff. And they're all following.
I want to go back to No Holds Barred.
Yeah.
Me too.
That's a good movie. It's not a good movie though. But as far as Hogan's career, I mean, if you want to count as far as his acting career, if you want to count Rocky 3 as one of his-
Thunderlips, the ultimate.
yeah, but
male.
really, I mean, if you can count it, but I'm just about movies that he was basically the star of.
What's it like, Mr. Nanny or
Mr.
something?
Nanny, which
Yeah.
sucked also.
Yeah.
None of them were good.
I like how the Thunderlips character was kayfabe. He's like beating up cops
Yeah.
and like attacking the crowd.
And then he goes backstage like, all right, guys, see you later.
Then after it's over, he's like, "All right, man, it's the name of the game."
Yep.
And they're always forgiven.
There's nothing.
Yeah, like as if cops totally wouldn't shoot a 6'7", 300-pound guy hitting
Well,
them.
they advertised him as almost 7 foot tall in the movie, didn't
yeah,
they?
390 pounds.
Yeah, 7 foot tall, 390. It's like, what?
Yeah, they gave him.
When did he become the Big Show?
Yeah, they gave him like 5 inches in height and 800 pounds.
How was that look the biggest wrestler for like 10 plus years? Like,
I think it chalks up to a certain amount of charisma and the energy he had.
he was terrible in the ring.
Well,
Like the color scheme and the whole presentation.
the positivity,
was-
kids liked him a lot. I think it was mostly the youth part of it that got him.
But
And
there were-
also, I've come to find out that people are stupid.
Yeah.
but like,
and there's that, too.
But like nobody wanted to fuck Hulk Hogan.
No.
Like,
Yeah.
I think it was because it was just like an all-American thing, and then that became where that wasn't popular anymore, and that's when he switched.
We got to find that video at one point where, do you remember like Lord Alfred Hayes from wrestling back in the day? Yeah. So like he's making these shakes with Hogan, and Hogan's talking about like, oh, you'll be drinking that and be coughing up powder, brother. And it's all these like fucking steroids. Like
No, man, it's all natural stuff.
It's so fucking funny.
Oh, you know what? What's his name? He used to be a wrestler, now he's an actor. What's his name? Dwayne Johnson.
Oh,
Yeah.
You may have heard of him.
Yeah.
He makes movies a lot.
Bad ones.
He does. But, whatever. He knows what he's making. He's not making Oscar-winning shit. He doesn't care.
He's laughing all the way to the bank.
Laughing all the way to the bank. So they're making a movie. It's like him, Ryan Reynolds, somebody else. It's a Netflix movie. And, of course, there's action scenes and car chase scenes, obviously. I think Michael Bay might be one of the producers on it. Anyways.
Get out of here.
So they did everything. They set up everything. They plotted out the course they were going to do this chase on, where they were going to film it at, what routes they were going to take. They did everything, knew what car they were going to take, and they bring it in, and they're like, all right, get in the car, and we'll start filming this. And Rock goes to get in his car, and he doesn't fit. He can't. He's too big, and he won't fit in the car.
That's awesome.
They're like, and the director's like, that's funny, get in. He's like, no, man, I can't get in. So they had to scrap the whole shoot, replan it, $60,000 down the drain, and had to find a bigger car because his stupid, huge ass wouldn't fit into it.
Jeez.
He's too wide. Like they showed the width of the seat and then the width of him. He's like more than double the width of the seat of the car he's supposed to be sitting in.
That would be kind of fun to see, like, what's the James Corden, like, karaoke.
The carpool karaoke?
Yeah, can we get him and The Rock in a Mini Coupe and just see him sing something?
That'd be great.
That'd be so good, just crowded in there. I think of, like, was it Police Academy 3 where Hightower rips
he rips the front seat
Yeah.
out. That was like a early 80s Honda Civic, man. No, he probably actually could have, the way those how compact those cars were, he probably could have sat in the back seat and touched the pedals.
I do love every once in a while where I'll be driving, usually downtown, or if I'm taking like Gratiot somewhere between here and Detroit.
Yeah.
It's like I will drive and I'm like, there's no one in that driver's seat, and then all of a sudden you look over, it's like my man's got. The brother's got the seat all the way laid back into the back seat, and he's just relaxing.
Yeah.
He's just relaxing driving. I'm like, I appreciate that, but that's reckless as hell, man.
Yeah.
Right.
I hate the people that put their fucking foot up on the dashboard and shit while they're driving.
I can't do that. I don't even know if I could do that.
Well, it's usually women.
Can you imagine if they get
Paige is like, I know the feeling.
Imagine if they rear end somebody, what happened to that leg?
Yeah.
Fucking
Yep. They're going to knee themselves right in the face, and their leg's going to be destroyed.
Yeah, I remember going down Gratiot or coming back from Detroit on Gratiot because the freeway was closed. And we're like, this will just be the quickest way.
Yeah.
And then we're driving next to this car, and Janine's like, looks like there's nobody in that driver's seat. And I was like, fuck, it looks like a ghost is driving. All of a sudden, you look back in the back seat, that's to the tinted window, and he literally was just relaxing, just sleeping. It's like,
I can't do that.
yeah.
Like I know exactly where my seat needs to be, and if I'm at lunch or something in my car watching something, and I lean the seat back to watch something on Netflix, if I don't put it back in the exact right spot, I can feel it. So I can't imagine trying to drive like that, just laying back.
Someone else driving your car and then
no.
giving you it back and then trying to find that exact spot sucks so hard.
Well, that's like, Dad drives me to work pretty much every day, and I always know when mom don't go out very often, but I always know when mom's in the car because the seat is like all like straight up forward.
That's how Dad drives too.
That's how Dad drives too, and they both got it. Their seats way up, and then I thought about it one day, and our mother is very paranoid about being in the passenger seat, about
She's
driving.
the worst.
And I'm like, maybe she should just like go like black guy style and just kick that seat back.
Black guys.
they'll lean it back, yeah.
Just do a lean back straight up,
Lean
man.
back.
Just do a lean back straight
Fat
back.
Joe?
Lean back.
And then maybe she might be a little more chill about it. But the way she puts that seat, I'm like, I'd be paranoid too, man. I mean, like
That airbag's going to snap your fucking neck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta figure though, if you're lean back, even if the seatbelt's on, they're gonna come and whip and hit that seatbelt, and their head is just gonna.
They're going to end up like Def Leppard. They're going to lose their arm.
Yeah,
The drummer.
I'm a famous drummer, and I lost my arm.
Well, I always remember, Ben and Frank's brother, Dwayne. Remember when he had that Mustang?
Oh, yeah. I remember when he cut that thing in half.
You know that the only reason he's alive is because he wasn't wearing his seatbelt, right?
Yeah.
They told him straight up if he was wearing his seatbelt, where it ripped the car in half, where it ripped the back end of the car off.
Why are you trying to take his freedoms away?
They told him flat out if he was wearing his seatbelt, he would have had no fucking head.
Mike, did you see somebody almost cut in half with the seatbelt?
No, I didn't see him. I don't know how he got cut in half. I saw a guy that just turned into meat.
Oh, wait, was that you or was it when you used to work with John? When John and his dad?
Yeah, there was the dude hit a. Found out later he had a heart attack and hit the pole. And by the time me and John went there, he was just meat.
Yeah,
like it looked like a roadkill.
Wow.
And he had I guess he had a heart attack.
Floored
hit the accelerator, hit the fucking pole, and it was just goo.
It's like, so he went out, like, did he go out the window or just like?
No, he was in the driver's seat.
But the seatbelt kind of
made mincemeat of him.
Yeah, I kind of cut him in half a little bit.
Right. Men's meat.
Yeah. Men's meat.
He was fucked up.
Man meat.
Pretty bad. Bad.
Yeah, that was. I remember that story, and
man,
someone puked. I think I thought somebody puked. Maybe I'm thinking of a different story.
No, well, there was one guy that was real dramatic talking to the local news.
Oh yeah,
and he was like, "Oh man, oh," he was like really upset. And of course, that's the guy they talked to because we were just like kind of like
you guys weren't going to over dramatize.
Well, we were just kind of in shock. We're like, yeah, I just saw him hit the thing. I went there, and man, he looked like meat. And I'm like, okay, we don't want to talk to you.
And nobody walked over to that guy, backhanded him, and took his man card.
Yeah,
because I would have.
What about those goofballs you see driving? Usually, like older person with big Coke bottle glasses, and they're like right up against the fucking windshield.
I don't know how they do that.
Like, at that point, you need to do another driver's test.
Well, see, like our dad's got super short legs, so he's always kept the seat really close up.
That's fine, but I'm talking about the people that are literally pressing their face against their windshield while they drive. Like,
bad,
but you know what Dad never did was if he had to do that, he never had the back.
Oh, I know the seat
straight up.
It's not straight up. It leans forward. It's like one notch forward too. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's got worse, so much worse.
It's like almost like he's in a car seat.
How old's your dad?
70.
Oh, exactly 70.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. He'll be 71 soon.
But there's times where you don't want him to like drive distances. So like when I'm trying to think of the last time I even drove him. I think it was your court stuff last year. I had to drive them all out to the court and stuff.
Watch me go to jail.
And like they're like, all right, let's get in. And I can't fit in the car. Like it's so close. There's literally not enough space between the steering wheel and the back of the seat for me to get in.
Oh God, no.
It's so. I was like, how do you do this? How?
No, yeah.
I know your legs are short, but it's your back didn't shorten up too. I mean,
Phil says Mike's like a cunt. You're correct. I am.
Well, he didn't say which Mike.
Mike Hunt. Mike Hunt.
Used to prank people in the 90s.
Yeah.
No, man, I still tell the story. That's I was ready to. I was like, I can retire now because I had to ship something to somebody and their name was Mike Hunt. I'm like, that's it. My job here is done. Right. I'm ready to retire.
Right.
Oh,
well,
great.
I know I've told the story of Bry's buddy Dan that like he used to prank people all the time when they were kids.
Yeah.
And then Bry found out like they were like every Friday they would all be hanging out. And they were teenagers by this time. They were smoking weed and drinking and stuff. And he'd be like, "Oh, I got to go home." And Bry always thought, "Okay, he's going."
Oh
home
yeah,
to
he had
shit.
to go home because he wanted to prank.
He thought
somebody.
he was going home to go shit or something, you know. But no, he would go home and he pranked this lady, this Arab woman, for like years. Every Friday he would call her house.
To an audience or just for his own satisfaction?
Just for his own thing. He'd call her and go.
What's wrong with people?
He'd go.
That's kind of.
And he said the same thing every day, every week. He'd go, "Your pussy smells like fish." Every week for years.
If you don't have an audience, how is that funny?
Does that make him a sociopath?
Yeah,
I don't
know. Okay.
Bit, yeah.
But,
okay.
But so one day, like, I guess one day Bry went with him over there or was with him and he's like, "Yeah, drop me off here, drop me off at the house." And Bry just went in, waited for him. And then he heard him talking and he goes, "Who are you talking to?" He goes, "Oh no, I was just I was just pranking somebody." And he as soon as he said that, he's like, I heard what he said, and I'm like, "Wait, you mean that lady that you called?" He goes, "You still prank her?" He goes, "Oh yeah, every Friday, man." He goes, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, that's fucking absurd.
That's absurd. That's bad.
Yeah.
It's hilarious, but
Dedication.
that's what it is.
Or the other one was he called this dude and he's like, "You got shit stains in your underwear," and the guy's like, "I know." He said that he didn't know how to react. He just hung up. He said he didn't know how to react. He said so he just hung up.
Does the Jerky Boys hold up?
No,
I
don't think so.
I don't think.
I remember that being a huge thing when I was a teenager.
Dude, yeah, same thing. I thought those things were awesome, and then I'm like, they got a movie coming out. This is gonna be great.
The movie was fucking horrible.
Why did they need a movie?
Because everybody, if you were popular, you got a movie.
If you're popular, they exploited it and made movies and made you money.
And you know what? I remember so I didn't buy it, but somebody I knew bought the soundtrack. They're like, I love the Jerky Boys. I'm going to buy the soundtrack to the movie, not their audio tape. The soundtrack to the movie that they made.
Yeah.
Oh,
and that had that classic hit from Collective Soul, Gel. Do you remember that song?
No.
You don't remember Gel?
I don't know if I heard it.
You know it. Which brings me to my next point. You follow bands. I know you're a big fan of bands.
I'm glad
and stuff.
that you used that to go into a point.
Segue, and actually, this one actually connects.
Yeah.
You're a big fan of bands and stuff, but there's any bands like you've ever followed, like you like so much you've seen like 37 times, like followed to different cities to see.
The band I've seen the most, can you hear me in this?
I can hear.
Yeah, I can hear
too
you.
far away. Okay, I just want to lean back.
Like you're driving to Detroit.
Talking to the mic. No, I'm joking.
Zebrahead is the band I've seen the most in different cities.
Okay.
In states. Yeah, but probably only 20 something times.
Okay. Well, because I brought up Collective Soul and that song Gel, and I used to work with the guy, and I completely forgot about this till the other day. This guy, his name was Doug, and he looks like Charlie Brown. He's got little tiny, just eyes, black.
He wears a yellow shirt with zigzag on.
Does he got this? So he's got the
big
bald
round
head with a
head.
little swirly.
Well, he's got like hair on the sides.
Oh, okay.
So he's bald with hair on the sides. And one time he was actually, when I started my first real job, my first permanent full-time job, he was one that trained me and showed me everything. It was like, he was an okay guy, but at one point Craig started working with me, and he said the first time I saw that dude, all I heard was dun, 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 dun. He heard the Peanut song in his head. I'm like, and I thought that was hilarious. But anyways, one day we were driving, he's like, you like Collective Soul? I'm like, yeah, I mean, they're okay.
No. Yeah.
So Where the River Flows is a cool
Yeah.
song. That riff.
Yeah. And then I don't even remember what they had a song on the radio at that point. Like,
Shine.
Shine was okay, but
Love is in the
December.
water, love is in the air.
They had December, they had a couple songs, but
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
he's like, yeah, I like them all. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. He's like, I'm going to see him next week. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like, where are they playing at? I'm thinking like they're playing around. He was like, Atlanta. I'm like, what? It's like, you're going to Atlanta? He's like, yeah, that's where they're from. So they're from that area. So it's like their hometown show, so I got to be there for it. I'm like, okay. This dude follows Collective Soul around, used to follow them around like they're
Like a
fucking
Deadhead?
Grateful Dead.
And you work with them again now.
No, I don't work with him.
Oh.
What's funny is like I always got, other than the hits, I always got them and Candlebox confused.
Candlebox is a pretty tight band.
When it came to like the deep cuts.
The deep cuts.
The deep
But
cuts.
that's the thing. He knew the deep cuts. He's like, so you're looking at this song. I'm like, Doug, I have no idea what you're talking about. I know that song they play on the radio right now. Other than that, The World I Know was the other one. It had like strings and stuff.
That
in it.
song was pretty good.
There's nothing worse than when someone tells you about the deeper cuts and the B-sides of an average band.
Yeah.
It's like their popular shit's not even that good, dude.
Yeah.
I don't want to look into the B-side.
It's like, no. Their
can't
B-sides are
stand
way
that
better
guy's-
than the stuff they play on the radio.
I can't stand his voice, so that's why I don't like them.
It's,
You brought up a good point though. We were talking with my friends probably a couple weeks ago. It was like the best soundtracks though. It's like I always liked the Kevin Smith movie soundtracks.
always
a lot.
had good soundtracks. Yeah.
like
Karate
Clerks,
Kid, man. Come on.
Mallrats.
Karate Kid, yeah.
Well, I mean, like where they like drew different bands, like Judgment Night.
Judgment Night was, because
Also
that was a good,
awesome.
that was a good concept, the way they did things.
Yeah, rappers.
They did the rap and the rock, and
Rappers
then
and metal.
Spawn did rock with electronic music.
Yeah.
and that was really cool too.
That was a decent, the soundtrack was definitely better than the movie for that one.
Yeah, Spawn's a good soundtrack.
Mortal Kombat did Mortal Kombat.
Karate Kid, Lost Boys.
We love the
Lost Boys
Lost
is
Boys. We
great.
all know that.
Those
but
are all like scores with select songs though too, right?
Yeah.
Or are they full on
Hey.
albums of?
the Lost Boys soundtrack
They've
was
got-
straight up just songs.
Okay,
On the Karate Kid, they've got a man who will fight for your honor.
They got Peter Cetera and all
Peter
this,
Cetera.
all kinds of stuff. The Lost Boys was basically like echoing the Bunnymen and
Yeah.
some stuff he didn't. It definitely wasn't radio stuff.
Okay.
No.
Tim Capello.
Like Kevin Smith always had really good like soundtracks for like Clerks, Mallrats, even Jane Silent Bob Strikes Back. That was good too.
Yeah, because didn't they, for Clerks, they had Soul Asylum did the song and actually filmed it there at the store and had another hockey game on the roof.
Yeah.
And that was the video for the song.
Yep. And they had like Alice in Chains on there too. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot Alice in Chains was on the soundtrack too.
Well, but going like the whole Collective Soul thing, like when it was a few years ago, somebody was saying, "Oh, you know, we should go to it was a Taste Fest or one of the little festivals."
Yeah.
There was a couple different ones going on that weekend, and I was hanging out with that Nicole girl, and she goes, "Oh, we should go to this one. It's downtown." And I go, "Yeah, what do we get to?" She's like, "There's a bunch of bands." I go, "Yeah, we'll get to watch Collective Soul." And she's like, "Oh, yeah, that's who's headlining it." I go, "Yeah, not going there."
You're not going to travel to Atlanta to see them in their hometown?
I'm like, well, you know, if we walk right out here by the Shores Inn, which she lived like 3 blocks from, I go, we could see Sponge, and it's free. And she's like, oh, they're good. I'm like, well, they're better than Collective
Soul.
Yeah,
he lives in the area now. That's why.
Those dudes lucked out though too.
Is
Because
Plowed the most '90s song there is?
Pretty, or Molly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That too.
Well, the thing is,
But yeah,
Plowed was in
yeah.
the most '90s movie ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Because
freaking
remember, like STP was supposed to open that Kiss reunion tour, and then Weiland got busted. So then they were like, "Yeah, we'll do a substitute. We'll throw Alice in Chains and Sponge on." I'm like, "That's a pretty cool opportunity for Sponge to open for fucking
Yeah.
Kiss at that point."
Yeah. 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 Because they're always playing. Sponge is always in the area, and then his other band, the Orbitsons, is always playing locally because he lives local now.
Well, he
Sal
had
knows that
yeah.
dude. Yeah, I've met him a couple times through Sal, like at his birthday party and shit.
Yeah.
Well, he had.
Yeah, he actually played Sal's birthday party.
He owned one of the bars in Hamtramck for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can't remember what the hell
Talking
it
about
was.
Vinny, right?
Yeah, he owned the one.
I
of the
played at
bars.
it, but I forgot the name of it.
I
played
forgot
at
it,
there
too.
twice.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it.
Some
now.
little dive too.
Yeah.
I heard some rumors before that. Remember when like STP, obviously Weiland was either out of the band, then he obviously died, and then they had like Chester Bennington from Linkin Park for a minute, and now they got the guy they have now. I heard some rumors at one point that they wanted him to
You
audition.
better
for
put
it.
him in the death pool.
Oh, the guy who's there now.
Oh,
yeah.
Jeff Goot.
Yeah,
He's from Marine City.
he's as good of a replacement as you get, but it just
He's
feels
good.
It feels like a cover band now.
Jeff, I don't want you
He's
to die.
he's
by the
good,
way.
and they
Just
did
joke.
you know they had one song they were playing, kind of rotating it on riff that was all right. It was
That
pretty
song,
good.
The Meadow, was actually
Yeah,
really
that's
good.
what- it was a good song.
I like that song.
Yeah. I only heard a little bit more of the album, but it was STP. It was STP. The guy's voice is good.
It's up to the fans what they want to do. Like when a band like that who has an iconic singer that I've loved my whole their whole career, I'm just gonna check out because it just feels
Yeah. And like if they would have, if I could have, I would have went and saw them when they were here. I was gonna go see them.
But the band absolutely deserves to still exist if they want to, because those guys, it's 3 of 4 guys. One guy led a shitty life and wanted to fucking do drugs and die, and the other 3 guys wanted to
and
make
like
music.
I said, he's pretty good. They put out another album. It sounded pretty good. I mean, certain bands, I guess, do get away with it pretty well, and certain like Alice in Chains, when they got William Duvall, I was like, oh great, I actually like them. I like
think
them a lot.
Alice in Chains is one of the bands that have done it great. Like,
Yeah,
I think
I liked them.
their later output, it's a different band,
It
but
is.
it's still really good.
Yeah. But I mean, there are a few bands that get away with it, and
That last album they put out was Rainier Fog, or that might have been the song, or is that also the album
I think
title?
that's but it's good. I
It's
mean,
awesome.
what I've listened to, and I like him a lot. And I watched a lot of YouTube videos of them doing live stuff, and
it's really crazy that you're gonna get like a black gentleman to have the same voice essentially
He's-
as
I like how
Lane Staley.
politically correct you were. A black gentleman.
but
What is
Okay,
a
what
black-
are you gonna? What are you gonna put? What are you gonna? What are you?
you said
What are you gonna put up a warning?
No, he's just got incredible range in
No,
his voice
when I
too.
first heard them with the new singer, I just thought it was some other dorky fucking grungy white guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like Sublime with Rome, where it's just like it basically is a cover band. They don't do anything new.
And he also has a good enough voice to fill it, but I just think the songs lack any quality.
And
Did you say inequality? Why'd you say that?
Why'd you say
Inequality.
Inequality.
Or I think the
But they
Alice in
haven't
Chains-
had it. They don't do anything new though.
No, they do.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Oh, I just ignored it.
The output kind of stinks.
Okay. Whereas, like they said, Alice in
you're
Chains
talking
is
about
just as
Sublime.
good.
I think the three or four Alice in Chains albums they put out.
There's definitely been 2, 3, yeah.
The dinosaurs, black turns to blue, and then dinosaurs die or whatever. What is?
Yeah,
yeah.
But
They've had good output where Sublime with Rome has
yes,
not.
the Alice in Chains output's been a different band, but good.
Okay.
Sublime with Rome.
Some dude named Rome took over, and
So are they called now Sublime with Rome?
Yeah, they don't go by Sublime. I think it's Sublime.
There was some legal shit where like the drummer and the Bradley Noel
estate,
like.
So the drummer's not there anymore either.
I don't think so. I think it's just the bass player.
Oh, I see. I didn't even know that.
Just start your
like
own
I said,
thing,
I checked
man.
out. I was like, no, they don't need to do that.
Well, the thing is like, I mean, Sublime put the album out, and then he died. What?
No, he died. Then they put the last album out.
Yeah. Right. 40 Ounce of Freedom, right?
No. The self-titled was the last album.
Okay.
That's when I had What I Got and Santeria and all that stuff.
Right.
He died. They finished the mixing, and then it came out.
Yeah.
So
I never liked that band.
I was
a lot
never-
of people I never liked them at all, but they were probably going to like take over. They were so popular.
They probably were.
Everybody was so like. I'm not saying I'm not just being negative or trying to be I just wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
But I can recognize that they were on the way. They were going to go stratospheric. That's where they were headed.
You always forget about the fact that like there was drug addiction in that happy sounding music. Like,
Yeah.
it's just
Sure.
fucking weird.
Yeah.
Like, there's this whole scene there that like I never knew about until way later.
There was tons.
you
of,
always think it's gonna be depressing music because they do drugs.
Dude, there was tons of
Yes,
fucking.
yeah.
I know.
There was tons of bands. There was
Dude,
tons of people that didn't make
At
it.
the beginning, drugs and alcohol is great.
Yeah.
And people always go about. Look, we've talked about our own issues and shit here, drinking and shit, but it's awesome for a while. There's no denying it.
Yeah.
That's the reason people do it. It is fucking awesome. But then it becomes not fun.
As you get more money, you can buy more drugs.
Yeah.
I
It
remember-
doesn't stop.
I remember that show, Paige.
Alan was there.
Yep, it was great because I remember seeing him on MTV for Man in the Box, and then I saw that they were playing at the Ritz. I'm like, I'm going to see him.
Yeah.
That one song that I knew by him was great, so I'm going to go see him.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
But it's I think it was the guitar player for what's that band No Rain? Blind Melon.
Yeah,
He goes, I know I'm not supposed to say this. He goes, but my fondest memories of Shannon was doing drugs with him till 4 in the morning.
Hey,
But he's like,
See, they-
I know I'm
yeah.
not supposed to say that, but like,
yeah.
because it ended up killing him. But some people, they just don't know how to stop when it's time to
No,
stop.
yeah.
What was the OG bass player from Alice in Chains, Mike Starr?
Yeah.
Like he always fucking drove me nuts because he was on that Celebrity Rehab show with
Yeah.
Dr. Drew. But
Yeah.
he-
I just want my band back.
well, but he'd also brag. He's like, I'm the one that got Kurt Cobain on heroin. He's like, I'm the
Yeah.
one that like he did. Like I'm like, why are you bragging about killing? Like potentially
I know.
being the starting point for the killing of someone that we all love.
But I mean, they got rid of him.
Yeah.
In the band,
They have Mike Inez now or whatever. Yeah.
but they got rid of him because he was doing drugs with Lane. He
Yeah.
was not as valuable as Lane Staley.
no.
yeah.
So they got rid of him and got a guy named Mike who played bass better than him
Oh yeah.
and wasn't a fucking heroin junkie.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the last known photos of Lane Staley?
Wasn't he like 90 pounds?
Well, he's really skinny, but he also has like really long hair, and he's wearing like a starter jacket and like a bandana.
Yeah.
He looks like a guy that's gonna ask you for money at the gas station or
Yeah.
for a smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe
like
it.
like those pictures, they're not haunting. Where like in the scary sense of like, oh my god, he's so. It's haunting because it doesn't look like the same guy that you knew when he
Yeah.
was singing for the band.
Right. Right.
That's
no, I
drugs.
mean, dude, I remember when I saw him at that show, when I saw him, and he had like dreads, It
Yeah.
was like his hair was kind of dreaded like, but I mean, they were cool as
He
fuck.
almost looked like a fucking nerd. Like he had glasses on and he had a bandana and like a
I saw some
starter
pictures.
jacket.
Yeah.
And it's like that was the last photos of the guy that sang for one of the biggest bands of
Yeah.
Well, and like the band he was in before Alice in Chains, he was in like cheese metal. He had like ratted hair and
Wow.
yeah, it was kind of pretty shitty. You see pictures of him, you're like, oh. It's like fucking. What's he doing? Poison covers? Or?
I thought the thing though that actually got Kurt into heroin was stomach issues. Like he had bad bleeding stomach
That
issues.
always sounded like a fucking scapegoat, but like Mike Starr had no problem saying like I'm the guy that got Kurt on.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
probably
I
full of
mean-
shit, but he didn't mind bragging about it.
I mean,
Like,
I'm
that's
not sure.
That's not a cool thing. No one thinks that's cool.
Can I read that out loud?
Yeah, go ahead. This is not offensive at all. Go
No, this is what Phil says. Phil says, Cobain brushing his teeth with a shotty was a blessing. Fuck that guy and fuck Nirvana.
Yeah, I like Nirvana.
All right, well,
No, we do too.
we
It
now know what Phil thinks.
Phil's from Utah. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Phil, were you a Nirvana fan?
We all know how Phil feels about Kurt Cobain and Nirvana.
But that kind of brings me to something else I want to talk to if we're on music. So none of us listen to the radio anymore.
I do.
Well, you do, but I don't because I have XM in the car, or you got
Yeah.
Spotify, or you got whatever.
Yeah.
Mike listens to his podcast, but
I don't get a lot of that in the shop, so I have to
yeah,
listen to
I
radio.
get that. But 89X is no more.
And if I know anything about how stations change formats from
Yeah.
Airheads, it happens overnight.
It basically did. It sounds like well, and that's funny you say that
Rebel
because
radio's going soft.
it's going soft.
Because
But 89X was, and even if you didn't like a lot of the music that came with it, a lot of us did. Like there was, it was almost 30 years of the same channel.
Amber Heard needs a Cobaining. They are the same.
Wow.
all right, Phil.
But you think of a lot of the bands that you like, they would never would have played like trying to think of some of the bands they played that no one else did.
Well,
The first song they played was Jane's Addiction Stop.
Yeah,
You
well,
didn't hear that on Riff or
Well, they
anything.
broke so many Canadian bands. Like Billy Talent.
That's what I was gonna say.
We all know about Billy Talent because of there,
all of
but
them.
they're not as big around the country as they are
No,
in Metro
here,
Detroit.
because
same
of
thing
them
with
breaking-
Our Lady
Our
Peace.
Lady
Our Lady
Peace.
Peace, Sloan, Tragically Hip.
Yep.
I mean, there's tons
And then
of
local
them.
bands too,
Tegan
because
and
they had the
Sarah.
Homeboy show. Well, yeah, Tegan
Yeah.
and Sarah.
Tegan,
Like them or not, that would count.
Yep.
I've actually found like I'm not a big radio guy either though, but
No.
like sometimes I would just get in my car and not want to like plug in my phone. I just was like whatever's on the radio. Like I usually listen to 97.1.
Because
Yeah, but like I've actually found in the last 5 years tons of bands I still listen to now from 89X.
yeah, that's what
You
I
know,
mean.
and I mean,
we
they
talked about
definitely-
Sublime earlier.
Yeah.
I heard Date Rape. The first song I ever heard by Sublime was Date Rape, and it was on. They had the top 7 at 7, and the number one song they'd play, and Date Rape won for like 2 weeks in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And they played it every night.
Do you know the reason for the format change? I mean,
They weren't because they were owned by. They're owned by, basically by a company that's owned by iHeartRadio now.
but they were in Windsor also. They already
Well,
closed.
they closed their American
Detroit
offices and stuff here. Yeah.
like years ago.
No, it's just because that's what's selling now.
Did we really need another country station?
No,
Well, my favorite-
we don't. But
We don't.
the problem is people always bitch about the radio. Everyone you talk to, they fucking play this. The reality is that's what makes them money.
It does, but
It-
it's also I mean, how many people just don't bother listening? FM's dead.
This
Yeah,
is gonna fail though too, right? Like the
Probably.
country
Well,
station.
But then
too.
they switched the River the same day because it's the same company.
FM.
So the River's not the River anymore.
What was the river? I don't-
93.9.
Oh,
But
I
they
know.
played-
I know.
but they
There's a
played a
new
little bit more
alternative
mixed.
station now, like 98.7.
You know what? That's you talking about how they can change overnight. They changed in a matter of a couple of hours.
Yeah, 98.7.
98.7 was the
They were
breeze.
the breeze.
They played soft music. They're playing fucking Christmas music as November 1st, and all of a sudden they're like,
We're
"There's no alternative
alternative."
channel." They switched at like 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
They
And what's
decided
funny is,
they
like-
stopped the show in the middle of the show, canceled the show while the lady was on the air,
And by the
and
time-
switched.
By the time he picked me up at 3:30 that day, they were already
That was
alternative.
out of nowhere.
It's funny because like when I heard somebody say like there is a new station trying to like fill that void of
It
8X.
sucks.
Well, I heard like The Cure and Gorillaz and Nirvana in the first
Yeah.
20 minutes. I was like, that's all right.
Did you hear any of the rap, electronic, alternative shit they're playing
Negative.
too?
I literally just listened to it for like
It's
20
so
minutes.
bad.
So I was
You'll hear. We're gonna listen to it on the way home, Alan.
I was 17. I was 17 when
17.
I was only 17 and
Anytime
that
somebody
was when
says
they
17.
that was when they came out. That was when 89X came out, and I remember the billboards
Mm-hmm.
along the freeways talking about it coming because they didn't just change overnight at
No.
that point.
It was
You know?
it was objectively the best rock station around here.
And the thing was,
the
like,
riff was too much AC/DC and shit.
Well, yeah,
that I knew all my whole life.
Arthur P. and shit.
So here I am, 17 years old.
Screaming Scott.
I go to listen to this channel, and it's like not like anything we're used to in Detroit.
Well,
And, I mean, I learned about.
Would you say it was a new rock alternative?
It was. But for instance, I had already seen Nirvana. I already knew who Nirvana was, but that was only a fluke. I went to a show, and that's how I knew who Nirvana was. But they played all the Seattle music, all the grunge music before anybody else. Riff and all of them did not jump on that until afterward.
Much later.
Then in 94 was when we got Z-Rock. Then they were playing some of that stuff, and then they were playing stuff from other areas, like Texas, Toadies, stuff like that. But that was because one Z-Rock was a national radio station. We got an affiliate. They were based out of Texas. We got an affiliate here. That was the only reason. But that was how we got our music.
Wasn't Z-Rock where Stern first hit when he came here?
You might. I don't know.
Stern was back in the day was on 106.7 WWWW.
Oh yeah, when he was a local guy here. He was a local guy here.
Yeah,
our
call letters
in
are
the 90s
easy.
when it came back here. I think it hit there first for a minute, and then it like transitioned to like another station.
Oh, it was syndicated, you mean? It was playing here.
Oh, you mean, when he was syndicated doing his morning show?
Yeah,
I think he might have been
Yeah.
on there because, remember, then they switched to The Bear, and that's when we got the Nuge.
Yeah, when he bought his own station
Basically
because
bought his
no
own
one else
station.
could stand
Yeah.
being around him.
You talk about the Seattle.
buy my own radio station.
You said 94, and if you think about it, here at least, I don't know about other places, but at least here, like bands like 9 Inch Nails and stuff, you wouldn't have heard that on Riff and stuff. You heard that on 89X.
No, I heard all of it on 89X. Because that's what
we heard
listened-
Depeche Mode. We love Depeche Mode.
I listened to 89X all the time,
Absolutely.
and then when I met Bri, that was in 94 when I started working with Bri, and we had the radio through the whole. We had a really sweet system that the boss had hooked up, so we could jam all night and play music.
Bruce Springsteen hooked it up for you?
Yeah, yep, the boss. Well, so anyway, we listened to 89X, but then Z-Rock came out, and we'd switch back and forth. We would listen to, because there was a guy, I want to say he was Mad Max, that was on at night after midnight, and we'd always put him on because he played like heavier music, and he turned us on to stuff that I'm like, dude, I heard that band name before, but I didn't know they were this cool. Holy shit, you'd see it like in Circus Magazine, or Hipparator, but I didn't know who they
do
were.
those still exist?
I don't know, actually.
There was
Dude, I'm ancient, okay?
there was this really awesome FM station. Didn't have a lot of power. It's on 87.9.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, it sounds awesome.
And then they got shut off.
There was what
They
was
played
it?
everything. They played Deicide,
Yeah, it was what was it called?
Dying Fetus.
Yeah, I remember it. I remember it.
But I don't know.
It had a name too, right?
Yeah.
Can't remember what it was.
You're right, though.
talking
Like, 8X had a good run, though. Like, through the late 90s into the early 2000s, they were doing those 8X birthday bashes or, like, the
I went to every one of them. The first one.
Yeah, they were awesome.
I saw Beck the first time he played here was at the birthday bash. Silverchair, the first time they ever played in America was at the birthday bash.
That's one band on my bucket list is Silverchair. Like, I was talking to some other friends about, like, concert bucket
They were like
lists.
16 years old.
Oh, yeah, the
They
first
were
time they go.
they were screwing up left and right, but they sounded awesome because they had so much fucking distortion in there. But they were messing up. They were so scared. They were 16 years old. They're headlining.
I love Silverchair.
They were headlining the show. I mean, there were so many bands I saw.
Their discount Kurt Cobain singer.
The reason that the Butthole Surfers went from being a college band who basically had a cult following to being put on the map was because 89X played Independent Worm Saloon, played the 2 or 3 songs off there, and then promoted them at the Phoenix Amphitheater with STP.
Yeah.
I watched Gibby walk out with the fucking sawed-off shotgun. Boom, 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 blowing off rounds into the air.
I think that one is aimed at Jay. He said something about silver chubby in our bucket list. Is sucking cock for a glory hole on your bucket list too? Just don't listen to him anymore.
Phil likes.
He likes
what
metal.
Phil's like.
He likes
Phil
heavy stuff.
likes what Phil likes, man.
I like all kinds of music. I don't know.
And
True, Chris. You played those 2 Beck albums for me when I was over there,
Yeah.
and I have since then rotated them into when I do get to listen to music at work.
They're in your
'Cause it's
rotation.
hard to sometimes when you're running like I run anywhere from 3 to 7 machines, and they may run long cycles, but I'm all over the shop, so I can't really, So most of the time I just get sports radio on because I can walk away from it. And,
That's what I throw on. Just bullshit the background noise.
Yeah,
Just
right.
So if you do you ever get like so upset at the machines that you rage against them?
yeah, I do rage against them all the time.
But, that's another band. We probably. I mean, they didn't play that on Riff right
Rage,
away.
Tool, Rage, Tool.
For a lot of people we
lot
know,
of them.
311.
Yep, a lot.
311
of
was big. I mean, you saw them on Alternative Nation in 120 minutes, but
But even the last 10 years, I found out about bands like Middle Class Rut, AWOL Nation.
yeah,
All those bands from 8X.
I know.
Yeah.
I
New
It's just-
Politics.
there was they did something.
Trust Company.
And that's the thing. They play Trapped. Default. Default.
Oh,
Headstrong. I'll take you on.
what's the other? What's the other one? Chevelle.
I like Chevelle.
Chevelle's not bad. I will give him
Are they?
Chevelle.
I only remember the one song.
For Thomas, better than Ezra.
The lead singer
Better
of
than
Trapped. The lead singer of Trapped fights with every band on Twitter.
all
Yes.
the time.
Oh, I know.
He's mad all the time.
You know,
he's
And
always
and his name is Chris Brown.
You
Is
know,
it really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
and he's like, we're the biggest. It's not Spotify. There's what is the other one? There's some other fucking Pandora.
Yeah.
Because we're the number one thing on Pandora. And he was like arguing with Corey Taylor from everybody. He's like, okay, you got one song that's better than my one song on Pandora, dude. But you're crazy. Like people are trying to reason with him, and he just fights all the time.
Well, remember when Eric was coming over and did the show, and he was talking about he turned me on to that Hard Time News on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Dude, that page is so hilarious. But yeah, they're always ripping on that dude. They always do like cover.
'Cause he's nuts.
They do like covers of the cover pages. They're like, oh, lead singer from Trapped, and then they do something ripping on him. Yeah, they're like, oh, he's at it again. That he's the greatest.
Yeah, he will argue with anyone that he's better than anyone,
Yeah,
and he means it in his mind.
that's crazy.
And it's like he had that one song that did pretty well, and that was it.
Real American right, even when you're wrong.
Yeah, I agree with him.
That's true.
I wish. See, people shit on people like that. I wish I was that delusional about myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I believed in myself to that degree.
That's it. That's how we're gonna break this thing big.
Yeah.
We're gonna pretend like
We're
we're better
right,
than we are.
even when we're wrong.
I'm gonna go. We're
we're gonna
gonna
start
go.
fights talking about our greatness with people.
Yeah.
When we go to one of those YouTube conventions,
Yeah.
like I don't know, it's like Yukon or it's.
We're gonna walk in with like a entourage.
I'm like, I'm gonna go up to pick a guy, whoever, and like we actually got better numbers than you. What? Yeah, we got bigger numbers than you, PewDiePie. We're actually we're beyond you. You're second to us now.
All right, so when's this next Yukon going on?
Who knows?
I don't know. Like, yeah. Well, if the pandemic ends, and if there's no civil war, and if there's about 5 things that need to happen before we could have go to a public event again.
We gotta get in awesome shape too before then, so we can't go to the next one.
CumCon, Brian's keynoting.
Hey,
Dude,
CumCon, that's got to be a porn show.
yeah, I'm keynoting because I'm talking about all the
dude.
loads I drop on the ladies.
dude, that's still. I love you, Phil. Sucking cock through a glory hole on your bucket list too. So I just love how at the end he's just like Christ.
Christ.
I
had something else I was going to say, but I don't remember what it was.
That's
Music
the thing
related.
when you put your opinions out there, just expect to get shit on.
I
It's just
fucking
the way
love
it
you,
is.
Phil.
I like how pretty much all our really popular videos have way more dislikes.
Oh, Chris wants to go to, I almost said CumCon. You want to go to Yukon?
Doing a Yukon.
You can't come to CumCon with us.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The Yukon or the Yumacon?
Whatever the YouTube convention is.
Well, there's that
VidCon.
Japanese one, that
VidCon.
Yumacon.
It's called VidCon.
VidCon.
Con,
Couldn't think
okay.
of it.
Okay. Not CumCon.
We're making dolls with cleft palates now. If you want to buy one for your children.
No.
Oh, so
That shit's jacked up. No thanks.
all right. So
I feel bad for your kid, but I don't want to look at it.
You don't want
So,
a cleft palate doll?
No.
I just want to end one thing with the radio thing, the N89X. just like last week, we talked about Trebek, and I just said like that was like everybody knew him. Like around here, like everybody knew 89X. That was our station, even though like Riff's been around forever, but you could always find something different on that channel.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that channel, I learned a lot about music, a lot, way more than I ever would have. And so it was definitely like the end of my youth, really.
Yeah.
To realize that, okay,
And
yes,
your
I know
youth
how
back in 1834.
I know how old I am.
Oregon Trail.
I know how old I am, but at the same time, it's like I still knew I had like something like that right there, and
Because they haven't done
You
like
knew you had to
the
avoid
birthday
Typhoid
bashes or
Mary.
the
No.
Christmas shows in like years now.
No, it hasn't been the same for a long
So
time.
once that went away, I kind of knew like it was on.
But I mean,
shaky ground.
That was. I mean, they did like 15 of them, I think.
Oh, I think they did even more than that.
They were still doing the birthday bashes at least 5 years ago.
Well, I went to every one of them until I moved. I went to every one of them until I moved to Utah, and then I didn't know that they were still doing them when I came back. So
I remember being excited to go to public events. That was all. It seems like ages
they
ago.
would do them
like,
at the
It
Phoenix.
was a long time
I
ago.
would be mad.
They would do them at the Phoenix Amphitheater.
I
It
would
was
be
so
mad if
great.
I had
love
to go to
Phoenix.
something now. Like
I love that place.
I used to like, oh yeah, so and so's gonna be in town, big party. Like if I have to go to a party, I'm like depressed. Days.
No, that's called That's the way everybody is now.
I hate going.
That's
in
not even to do
I'm
with
not
the
talking
pandemic.
about COVID. I'm talking about before that.
I know that I'm saying that's just the way it is. Like I don't want to.
When the
do
pandemic
anything.
ends, I'm going to be the exact same.
I'll even do if it's stuff. I'm going to hang out with people I actually like we did Friendsgiving, and no offense to Chris or anything. Even at the end, I was like, oh, I don't know if we should go because the stuff's going on. I was trying to find reasons. When we got there, it was great. I had fun, but it's just like I got to the point. I'm like, I don't know if we should go because sick people. I was making up excuses, because I didn't want to be bothered to go anywhere.
Yeah.
It wasn't that I hate the people or I didn't want to do the event. I literally don't want to go anywhere. I have no energy to do it.
I gotta say though, this second round of shutdowns of things to do, it's gonna kill the fucking theaters around here. Because I went when they reopened them back up for 3 weeks. I went and saw a movie with my brother, and we pulled up to the theater. What's it like a 15 Van Dyke?
Yeah,
and we're like, this is depressing.
we drove by and there was literally nobody in the parking lot.
There was maybe 30 cars. We were there on like a Wednesday night. There was 30 cars in the parking lot. We were 2 of 8 people in the entire theater for a movie.
What'd you go see?
Tenet.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was like, this is depressing. This isn't gonna work.
Well, we drove by and it was on a Saturday. Same thing. It was I don't remember where we were going, but same thing. We drove by and it was a really nice day, but it was a Saturday. I'm like, oh, they reopened the theaters. This should be busy. And there was no cars in their parking lot.
When they open the theaters back up, they need to play nothing but The Stand.
Just play The Stand. Hey, the new Stand
All
comes out
pandemic
next month.
movies.
Or the Contagion.
Contagion's a good one too.
Yeah.
But The Stand is going to be a 10-part miniseries.
But I don't know how these theaters are going to survive with the square footage they have for the lease, based off of the money not coming in, based off of no new movies being put out.
Yeah.
Like, this is just going to be a collapse.
No, there's going to be an economic collapse, dude.
Yeah.
You can't not have shit open and it work. It's just not. You have to have things making things.
Well, even after it reopened, because there's one basically in the parking lot I drive through to get to my building.
Mm-hmm.
There's
I'm
an
still
MJR.
not going to get extra toilet paper. I don't care if there's economic.
And
Nope.
even after they reopened, I mean, I drive by and it's the end of the day, but it was a Friday and it was like 3:30 on a Friday, and there's no cars there.
No.
There's nobody there, and this is weeks ago after they reopened.
Once you think about the square footage of these buildings for their leases,
Yeah.
like, I don't know how that works. Like,
I don't either.
Well, I had a weird eerie premonition, and I'm not a spiritual guy, but I'm walking out of GameStop, which is the only place I go anyway. If I go anywhere, and I looked around, and there's like Chuck E. Cheese and Guitar Center and all.
They should have shut Chuck E. Cheese
And
down
I
anyways.
look and everything's closed. And this was like the middle of July.
that's where I got my haircuts at.
And I'm looking at myself like,
Chuck E.
yeah.
Cheese.
I go, yep, it's over. I had that thing. I thought my head like, yep, America's over.
Somebody,
America's over.
I'm like, this is not going to work. Everything's going to collapse.
somebody just told me that Guitar Center was filing bankruptcy, but I don't know.
But I
how
think
it's
it's more a restructuring.
a restructuring. It's got to be. They just got too many business. They got too many of them now.
Yeah.
We're gonna be Amazon Prime Zone 7. That's going to be the name of our state.
We're District 12.
Hey, man. All right. Well, you know what? For South Park reference, since we've been on the air, there's already they showed that on Amazon, the Amazon fulfillment on South Park, that it was everything else was shut down. And everybody just worked for Amazon.
The malls.
And they were either Prime members, and if they screwed up, they were USDA Choice members.
Yeah. I didn't know when they did the pandemic special, they weren't doing a season.
No.
It's just a special.
It's considered episode 1, but they're not. They haven't decided when they're going to actually start.
Because usually it would be around this time. It would start in October.
Yeah.
The pandemic special was great, also, by the way.
Yeah, it was.
Like, it was 100% awesome.
Yeah, it was really good. I think they're gonna. I haven't seen anything about for sure yet, but they were saying that it was not gonna. They were gonna start it eventually, though. They just didn't say when. So.
Whoa, are there 6 people watching right now?
Is that AA Ron?
AA Ron,
as
talks.
in my cousin, and he's just on YouTube and not Twitch right now. Anyways, are they gonna do, like, you remember Game of Thrones when one of the last episodes where the kings and queens were part of their treaty was like dillying up land.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have like Jeff Bezos, the Walmart people, couple of people in the government, like all these powerful factions, the CCP. Everybody's like, all right, you can have this, you can have that.
Just divvy up the land.
It's like, Walmart gets the South. That's where you guys are from. That's yours. You keep that.
Yeah.
There's messages below it. Let's see the messages.
Okay.
Sorry, but I think you're right.
Hola, bitches.
Ooh, hola.
Tom.
Hey, Tom. We were talking about you
Michigan
earlier.
Gonna blow this game.
I don't know, man.
We didn't even put the game on. I forgot it was a 7:30 game because I was actually looking forward to watching a real game, Clemson and Florida State.
Michigan's up by 2,
but they postponed. They postponed the Clemson Florida State game.
Oh, wait, hold on, maybe they're not.
And we got Harbaugh. That's our guy.
Michigan's up by 2, but it's first and goal. It says first and goal on the Michigan 0. That means they scored, right?
I just saw breaking news online that Robert Englund had joined the cast of Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay.
Come on, Michigan.
Stranger Things.
We do, we're just going to do a really short part of this. We're going to do a retraction. Last week we talked about.
Yeah, we need to retract something real quick.
We talked about God Hates Shrimp, and it was a very convincing website. We thought it was real.
Yeah, and, we bought the cook in there.
Yeah, we bought
Kool-Aid.
Yeah, we
what
bought.
Happened?
We talked about something called God Hates Shrimp.
There was a satire site that was using they had the same format as the Westboro Baptist Church.
Yeah.
But instead of hating homosexuals, they hated shrimp.
Shellfish, all kinds. Shellfish was against the Bible.
Basically, yeah. Unless they had like Bible verses.
Well, I was going to sign up for the church because I hate shellfish.
I don't like it either.
I was going to get in on
You
it.
like shrimp?
No.
Not even blackened shrimp tacos?
No.
Oh, come on.
But we fell for it. We usually I find myself, and I'm sure these guys do, I tend to check things out before I'm like, oh, this is real. But I really thought that was real.
I just go with it.
And it was not. We were totally wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mike messaged me. He's like, hey, I was going to make that guy.
Kind of felt bad because I brought it to the program. This young guy showed it to me, and he's like, this is for real. And I looked at it, I go, that looks for real.
Mike messaged me, and he's like, hey, I was going to make that God Hates Shrimp clip, one of the clips we were going to put out this week. I'm like, okay. Except I found out it was satire. I'm like, no, come on.
I mean, it showed like Bible verses, and I'm like, it's just real,
It's like you have like an older family member that shares a like disclosed TV link with you.
Because we even talked about
it's like listen, Aunt Bethany.
We even talked about like, the Bible verses that it showed, and we're like, well, there's so many different Bibles. I mean, maybe there is a Bible that says that.
Well, and that's the thing. They also referenced the Shellfish Suppression Act, which was an actual act that they tried to pass in California. I'm like, oh, this is legit. That is, but the rest of it was not.
Feels like I bought a T-shirt. Thanks, Al.
Because the reason they weren't trying to suppress, if you will, shellfish in California, they were because of religious reasons.
The shellfish themselves.
They were suppressing the act of buying it because of all the chemicals and stuff they were picking up from the polluted water.
Who cares about that?
Right.
So the mercury and stuff like that.
I don't want to hear more about real problems.
So anyway, we retracted on it, but another bullet point that Brian's got here is I'm actually very interested. I will buy this if she does this.
Oh yeah, this has a lot to do with shellfish too. So
Yeah. Dolly Parton may pose for Playboy for her 75th birthday.
yeah,
And I don't care if she's 75 years old.
I don't think they do nudity anymore.
well they were gonna do something. They still do stuff as long as it's tasteful.
Because what was her name that played Dr. Quinn?
So, guys, what do you think the
Yeah.
over-under is on Dolly being a lesbian? What do you think it is?
Dolly Parton?
Bye.
Why would she?
Well,
I don't know.
she's been married forever, but that doesn't mean anything.
I heard someone was talking about I'm being dead serious. People were like debating it. Like,
Yeah, I know. I saw
well,
something.
I was like,
This is from her own mouth too. They have an open marriage,
Yeah.
which as we said before, doesn't work. No matter what you think, open marriages just never work.
well, I'm going.
They've been married a long time,
It
though.
works
Well,
for
Al,
your-
you need
when
to
you're a
you need to
millionaire.
head to Tennessee, buddy.
So,
Yeah.
but he said
You need to be the
her
bull.
husband's just some dude. You ever seen her husband before?
No.
No, because no one ever sees her
It's
husband.
kind of like
He's just some
like
random dude.
Oprah's husband. It's just a thing.
So he's there. Earl. I'll call him Earl because I don't know his fucking name. His
Earl.
name is Earl. But
name is
he's
Earl.
like yeah, we have an open relationship.
Parton.
We have an open relationship, but you know what? I tried it a couple of times and it's just like it didn't feel right. So she can do whatever she does on the road. I know she's always coming home to me, and she has been for 50 years. So
Jesus
Phil,
Christ.
I don't care if her nipples are looking at the floor. I'm
also, he said a couple of cantaloupes in hefty bags.
All right, hey Earl.
I'm not doing it because I'm expecting to see a 75-year-old woman's boobs looking like amazing and perky. I'm doing it because I want to
But why
support
wouldn't
Dolly
you? Because-
Parton. I want to see.
Why wouldn't they be looking perky and stuff? She's had enough work done. Her boobs
Plus-
are probably looking straight out.
What if she just does it and she just is spreading her butthole like wide open?
You mean the Tinder pose?
Oh, no, you don't like. They don't even show her tits. They just show her like doing.
It's just her just wrenching her
gaping
butthole
ass.
just wide
It
open.
would just be weird hearing Dolly giving you like horrible sexual commands. All right, put that ball gag in, sweetheart.
I know she's such a sweet person. Too.
I'm going to put it in my ass and then right to my mouth.
ATM baby.
I'm gagging all that.
She's a very good person too,
Yeah,
so
you
that would
guys
be
are killing
really
me.
weird to see.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I just like, when I was growing up,
Earl's in the corner, cucking. Oh god.
when I was growing up, she had some of the.
that much.
I mean, she wore these tight outfits, and she had, when I was 9-10 years old. I mean, everybody talked about Dolly Parton's boobs, and we all wanted to see them. All of us.
2020, butthole or bust.
So I still want, whatever she, she can do
1975 Dolly Parton, sure, not
whatever. This was
75-year-old.
Jack
or 1980,
Jack
let's say
Nicholson,
9 to 5.
She said Jack Nicholson 1975 like Billy Madison.
No, like 19. Let's say 1980s 9 to 5 Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
She was on Playboy at that point, but she never posed in it.
right.
But
Just politely being
man,
asked to
40 something
buy
years
later.
ago, cool. Now, don't want to see it.
Sweetheart, mash them
she's
titties
75
together.
right
Put
now?
your cock
No.
in there.
So let me get this straight. If she does pose nude for Playboy, you're not going to look.
No, I'll see it. I'm sure.
I mean,
I'm not looking. I'm not like gonna.
No, I'm just thinking about it. Like, I mean, really, I don't want to see because I'm just looking at it.
It's going to be
I'm
airbrushed
thinking
all
of it.
hell.
I'm
It
thinking
always
of it
is.
as from the Ron White standard, where Ron White says once you've seen one set of titties, you want to see them all.
Yep.
So
But
I always wanted to see hers when I was a kid.
here's
So why
why
not?
I don't think it'll happen because they don't do a print copy of Playboy anymore. It's all on the
So I
website and
can't
stuff.
even buy it.
You can't buy a magazine.
I got to buy the damn monthly.
Also, her birthday is in like the beginning of January, so if they're gonna do it, it has to be real soon because they don't do that stuff like spur of the moment. It's stuff that's like you're seeing the January edition now. The January edition of those magazines comes out like November. They would have had to have already done it for her 75th birthday.
Sweetheart, I've done prolapse.
As far as I can recall,
I got a pink sock.
one set of titties that we've never seen that probably are pretty cool are Mariah Carey's.
I've seen close to most of them, but yeah.
I don't think she's ever done anything.
No, she hasn't. I just don't know if I would want to see him either. Because fuck that stupid Christmas song. Fuck that thing.
That's pretty much.
And I don't want to see. I don't even want to see her face.
I'm just talking about the cans. They
Yeah,
look
yeah.
good.
Isn't she the
don't
one
get
that
me wrong.
demands that you can't look her in the eye if
I
you
really
work at a
ca-
hotel or something?
Yeah.
She's one of those.
I
guys.
really-
She probably is. Fuck her.
I can't stand the Christmas song and her face. So
I think she's kind of pretty. I mean,
I just
She used to be really pretty,
I just can't stand her
and
face.
now the fact that she denies that she's had any work done on anything.
I remember she got
Look
all
at
like
her. She's definitely had work done.
she got all fucking loaded up on pills and wanted to fuck Eminem.
Yeah,
Remember that?
that's why Nick Cannon had beef with Eminem.
And then
And
she
squashed it.
Then she denied it, and then
Squash the beef.
Where's
Dude, fucking, did you see like Bobby Brown's fucking son died?
He's lost 2 kids.
He lost, like, he lost this.
Bobby Brown Jr.'s dead.
Yeah, I was like,
Is
holy
this
crap.
karma taking over?
You know what though? I mean, for years they made it like, you know, it was Bobby Brown's fault that Whitney Houston got all hooked on drugs and everything. But Bobby Brown's been clean for years.
It could still be his fault that he got her
Well,
hooked on drugs.
actually, I don't really think so.
he was able to stop. She just
She
couldn't.
was already hooked on shit from her fucking management because she was working like
They Judy Garland her. Yeah,
they Judy Garland the shit out of her.
yeah.
I mean, they were working her to death already.
Quality parenting skills.
When
like our pool party at Tommy Lee's house.
Oh my God. Okay, so I got something for you.
Why'd
Okay,
you just do?
so this
Oh
is
my
music.
God.
I got it right now. Let's go. Magic. So I read something I didn't know before today, just today. We talked about Aerosmith before and how they're. We didn't. Oh no, it was in the chat.
How
We talked
Steven
about their
Tyler
Me
songs.
and my
looks
buddy both
How
discovered.
Steven Tyler looks like a 75-year-old woman.
Well, no, not the music though.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
and how no matter what you think, you always know it's them and stuff. But
Yeah.
so
Yes.
I don't know what I was going through, but I saw something and it was an article about this is late 80s, like they had just cleaned up. Steven
Right.
Tyler had just cleaned up and then realized he'd written some songs before. And he's like, oh, I should write some more of those. And like they were at a bar and it was like during a tour and there was a bunch of other people there, band people and stuff. And him and Joe Perry and the other guys, one other guy were hanging out there and they saw this chick from across the bar and they're like, oh, who's that chick over there? I couldn't see. And I turned around and fucking it was Vince Neil.
Who's
Okay.
that fat chick over there?
Who's that chick? Well,
where
this is still so they're like, haha, that dude looks like a lady. And that's how they wrote the song.
Vince
Dude looks like a
Neil.
lady. Yeah. They had the inspiration for Dude Looks Like a Lady because they thought Vince Neil was a chick on the other side of the bar. And I automatically thought that drop that you just played that you should play again.
And just found out today.
Vince Neil.
And then
If there's anyone that we shit on more than I think we shit on Vince Neil more than any one person.
so
Yeah.
they don't always write their own songs. They have a guy who helps them write the songs. It has for the
What's
last
that, Aerosmith?
Aerosmith.
Yeah.
Desmond Child.
Yeah, he writes. Yeah,
He's
he
helped them write a lot of their biggest songs ever.
Yeah.
Like he helped them with like Don't Want to Miss a Thing, but fuck that shit.
Well,
But,
yeah, he's helped. He wrote.
He
for
said, well, what do
everybody.
you guys got? He's like, they started doing like this backwards blues harmonica scat thing. And he was like, that fucking sounds horrible. We're not going to do that. But it ended up being part of like the end of Ragdoll,
Oh, okay.
it was like, doo-ba-da-ba-doo-ba-doo, that shit. Yeah, doo-ba-da. And he's like, that's horrible. It sounds like Van Halen, only worse, and I wouldn't even wish it upon my worst enemy. It's a horrible
I
song.
like the Sammy Hagar doing the lead with his mouth. And
Yeah. then they're like, hey, we had this idea for
So
a song. It's
bad.
called "Dude Looks Like a Lady," and he's like, that's a hit, and he knew right away just by the name of the song. Yeah, that's a name. That is the name of a song. We got to make a song around
Well, the
that.
thing is,
title.
that song was a hit, and then they put it in, what you call it, Miss Doubtfire.
Yeah, that's what he said.
And they gave him a second hit
Yep.
again.
That's exactly what he said in this interview too. Desmond Child. He's like, it was big. And it's like, that's the kind of name you need for a song because that's catchy. People know that song. And then it was in Mrs. Doubtfire and it was a hit all over again.
Yeah.
He's helped write hits for a lot of people.
Yep.
But,
He-
like, I was talking
He
specifically.
helped him write "Living on the Edge."
Specifically in that fucking chat with you guys, is like me and my buddy Jeff both rediscovered late 80s, early 90s Aerosmith.
Yeah.
And everyone loves the old stuff, the 70s,
Yeah,
early 80s shit.
Sweet Emotion and shit.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go with Love, but I definitely liked it better than the.
But then the fucking Get a Grip album and Pump are both amazing.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
amazing.
Love in an Elevator. Janie's Got a Gun.
But even like Get a Grip, it's like
Get
the
a
song
Grip.
Get a Grip is awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, that fucking
Eat
album.
the Rich.
Eat the Rich is awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. They're also rich though.
They're also rich. Yeah, that's the irony in the song. It's like eat them. Living on the Edge is a really good song.
That song doesn't end though.
No, it never ends.
They drag out that end for like 3 minutes. Living on the Edge.
Remember that Gap?
Crying's actually a decent song.
Remember that Gap commercial they did in the 90s?
Yeah.
He's got his drums. He had the one drum.
He did that Sammy Hagar lead with your mouth thing.
That's how Steven Tyler was a drummer and a piano player.
Yeah.
That's how he started.
He was a
out.
trained drummer. Yeah.
So what was the album after Get a Grip? Was that the Armageddon shit, or was there one?
No,
before
I think they did one.
9 Lives.
9 Lives.
Yeah.
Oh, and that had Pink, which was Pink is so bad.
So bad.
That's a horrible song.
9 Lives isn't a good song either.
I don't remember that song.
That's basically when they
Pink was bad.
They start going, all right, well, let's.
Oh my God, there's one more song from that,
I can't remember.
and it was like a mad scientist video.
I remember
thing.
the video for Pink was where they had all the different faces, right? And it was like
It was fucking bizarre and
CGI
scary.
faces
Yeah.
with dogs and bullshit.
Fuck that. Oh, and I remember I was in high school. I think it was my last year of high school when I came out. Yeah, and a bunch of people were like, "We're going to see him at Pine Knob." I'm like, "Cool."
I would have went.
Well, I didn't have the money, and then all I kept thinking was a stupid video for Pink. I'm like, nah. Oh, Falling in Love is so hard on the knees. Was the other one.
That's not a bad song.
And then Hole in My Soul was another one off that album.
Yeah.
So,
If it wasn't for 89X, I wouldn't have discovered 7 Mary 3.
Really?
See?
First time I ever heard them was on Riff.
Was it? I don't know.
I don't remember why I heard them. See, I swear that you said Toadies earlier, and I think that was-
Toadies.
I never heard of
Well,
Custom,
no.
Hey, Mister.
Toadies. Actually, no. Like that was all right. Last night on my way home from work, me and Joe, he always has WDET on, and they were doing the guy was doing like a tribute to 89X. He's a local guy, and he's like, yeah, he goes, this song was like heavily in their rotation. I think they kind of brought the Toadies to the area, which is not true. The Toadies were because of Z-Rock, because they were Texas. They were a Texas band, and that's where Z-Rock was based out of. There was like 4 or 5 bands that were they were trying to get, they were pushing them. But Pantera started getting played here because of Z-Rock.
And it was Cemetery Gates.
Yep, Cemetery Gates.
Yeah.
Cemetery Gates. That was it. Yep.
Z-Rock.
I was like, because when Z-Rock first came on, they were playing. I'm like, dude, I know this song. I know, because I had already seen them in '92.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, dude, that's a Pantera band. They're badass.
That Pantera band.
That band, yeah.
They're a Pantera band.
That there.
Yeah.
They
That little old band from Tech. Oh, no, that's somebody else.
You got your Z-Rock
that
dog
little
tag?
band.
No.
Little three.
No, I forgot. Dude, I might have a Z-Rock dog tag. Dude, I have a giant tote that's full of everything from I got stuff from when I was a kid in there. So I don't even know.
I don't know if I could,
little stupid stuff that I just never got rid of.
I don't know if I could rock anyone's like shit now, like they're like a media company or someone I listen to, or I would feel weird other than a band shirt maybe, but
Yeah.
people was like they have like, remember the bumper stickers? Yeah, 101.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Baby.
Yeah, because
If we ever come out with gear, don't fucking wear it.
Neil and I were talking about it when we were talking about 89X.
Just
changing
buy it. Just don't
formats.
wear it.
He's like, I probably still got a couple of those 89X bumper stickers somewhere. I go, I probably do too somewhere.
Damn.
Yeah.
I was.
They belong in a museum.
I said that Desmond Child said some shit about Van Halen and stuff. And did you see the tribute thing that Wolfgang von Van Halen did about
His dad.
his dad? I didn't watch it either.
Nah.
No.
I saw it. It was decent.
Yeah, I have trouble with that. Like when they're doing, it's a tribute to this guy. I'm like, yeah, but I don't know. It always seems like it's too artificial. And I'm sure it was
Heavy-handed.
something he wanted to do for his dad. But like,
Yeah.
It was definitely better than In This River.
that's what I was gonna say. I always go back to that because that's
the worst tribute song
fucking
ever.
tribute song I've ever heard in my
song?
life. In This River by Zach Wild. It's a tribute to Dimebag Darrell.
Oh, yeah.
I like Zach
It's-
Wild. I like Dimebag, but that song sucks.
So fucking bad. I hate it
And
so
the
much.
solo didn't match.
The
He does
solo
it-
is the worst.
He does the fastest ripping solo possible over this slow song.
with
the
like
ballad,
piano and
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
And like the video is like them when they're hanging out because according to the video they've known each other since they're like 9 and they're hanging out.
but they met
But
when
they
they were
just found
probably
two
like
little kids and they
38.
put wigs on them.
Yeah, they probably met each other when they were in their 30s.
Say that again.
They found like these two little kids. And it's Zach Wild and Dimebag. And they put wigs. They put wigs on these kids and had them hang out like near a river.
That sounds like suck so
It
hard.
was so bad. I hate that fucking song so fucking much. It's so bad. And I know people that like it, like, oh, it's such a good tribute. I'm
Dude.
like, you're fucking a moron.
I'm just kind of pissed that you guys brought it up because I had forgotten about it completely
You're
out
welcome.
of
I
my
was
skull.
going through a
and
hard
now-
time in my life.
And now it's gonna be like,
But anytime I hear is like, oh, they did a tribute to their dad or their comrade or whatever you want to say. It just, I always think of that
so
pile
did I
of shit.
at the Ritz, Paige. That's where I saw him. Yep, I remember.
Yep.
I remember when Dog Star played at the Ritz.
Dog Star.
That's Keanu's band, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys ever watch
well,
the
Paige
Ozzy
is
and
like the
Jack?
same age as me, isn't he?
Yeah,
Paige,
he is.
Paige, you're the same age as Alan.
Is that why there's a 73 at the end of your?
Yeah.
I think so.
Paige is part of the
There's
elder
Elder
council.
Yeah, in this river drove Alan to drink again.
Yeah. Thanks, Zach Wild. Now I'm drinking.
Well, way to go, Zach Wild.
Yeah.
Go play in some more subway
Just
parking
Put
lots.
another K at the end of your Zach.
You guys ever watch the Ozzy and Jack like travel show?
I haven't yet.
No.
It's pretty decent.
It looks like it's probably going to be pretty cool, but I haven't watched it
For
yet.
what it is, it's like
Yeah.
him and connecting with his dad, just traveling
Yeah.
around. But like it puts Ozzy in like awkward spots again. Like remember on the
Yeah.
Osbournes?
Yeah.
It's like
I
Idiot
did,
Abroad, but with Ozzy Osbourne.
I
Well,
did
you were
re-
in Utah, and they actually go to the middle of the desert. And they do the Mars, the fake Mars thing in Utah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I hate that was a good show. I like the Osbourne and stuff, but it's just funny to me. Like they travel, it could be anywhere. They could travel to Denver. Well, everybody's got to do the Denver slushy fucking obstacle course. It's some weird thing that no one does when they're in Denver. Yeah, but like, yeah, it's
I've been to Denver. I never did that thing.
But yeah, like, hey, we're gonna go boating. It's always something weird that none of the locals ever do.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because like I saw something about that show, and then I had to work or something, but there was a thing on with Ozzy, and I recorded it. But it was like the 9 Lives of Ozzy. It was like on A&E or something. I haven't watched it yet, but I think I actually recorded a couple of those episodes. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, the Jack and Ozzy World Tour things. It's fun for what it is. They just go travel around to like New Orleans, Utah, different places. And
Yeah.
I'm surprised that my mom hasn't told me because she loves Ozzy. She loved that show.
Yeah, see, same thing. I like the Osbournes enough, but I got to a point where I didn't want to see something that was so overly manufactured
Well, yeah. Here's the thing.
for responses.
This
But
is
at least
more
something like
them-
that. They're traveling.
This is them trying to do like the kind of like the Bourdain thing.
How about today? I dress up like you and you dress up like me.
Here's
This is
the
what we do
thing.
every day.
On this show with Jack and Ozzy, am I going to have to see that wretched woman that he's married to?
Is Sharon in it?
Yeah.
Not really, no.
Okay,
It's,
good.
Okay, I'm good.
It's them getting in RVs and going doing travel shit.
Then I'll watch it.
It's pretty cool.
But you said he put him in an awkward situation, so it made me think of fucking Carl Pilkington, the Idiot Abroad.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, but like when they go to the Utah, they have to like get out of their car and then they have to go like walk through the
Nilbog.
desert, and then they go to like
Nilbog.
the Mars.
I don't know what that is.
Fake Mars. It's like a fake space station kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like if you're on Mars, like
Is it not like near the Salt Flats or something?
They found it in the Red Rocks area where it looks like
it's down.
It looks like they're in
Oh,
Mars.
Red Rocks would make more sense. Okay.
But they made them walk like 2 miles.
which
to get to it.
which Ozzy,
Phil, what's this
Ozzy
Mars thing
really
they're talking about?
Ozzy hasn't walked in 30 years. He shuffles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He
and always fixes his hair while he's shuffling.
Yeah,
too.
it's basically a drug induced shuffle that he has been. It's basically
Fat cat.
whatever medication they have him on or whatever drugs he's had. It's a shuffle that he has.
But he's so much better now than he was when he first started the Osbournes. Like the way he talks, even.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what they did to him, but
Well, from what I understand, what they did with them was at that point they realized he was on too many things, and he was on stuff that were counteracting each other.
That's what I was thinking.
and they say nope, starting over, and they took him off everything, and then eventually put him on just the stuff he needed.
Well, it's kind of like.
Dale, don't
remember
step
when-
on the soundboard.
when-
I'll sell you to a Vietnamese family.
when Anna Nicole Smith had that show before she died, when she had that show on
God,
E.
she had that show. Wow.
Me and Bri used to watch it all the time. We were like obsessed with it, and I was like, "This poor woman. They've got her on so many.
Oh, they totally
things.
Judy Garland her.
I'm
too.
like, they've got her on so many things. She's like,
And she got so plump.
I know, dude.
So plump.
I know. Me and Bri were like, I don't care. Look how hot. That's where we dubbed her the Fottie, dude. She was a fat hottie. We dubbed that. Me and Bri dubbed that term. Nobody else gets that. It's ours, Fottie.
She looked fucking real sweet in Naked Gun 33 1/3. And
Yeah.
then
No,
She had a dong in that.
yeah,
remember?
but like we.
You saw a shadow of the dong.
it was like Gonzo's nose, though.
Yeah, it was terrible.
It was basically we were watching it, and Bri was like, "You know what? I don't care if she's fat." Now he's like, "She's still a hottie." He's like, he goes, "You know, I don't really like fat girls, but I'd totally fuck her right now." And I'm like, "She's a Fottie," and he goes, "Yeah, Fottie, a fat hottie." And that's how that came together. That and about half an ounce.
Oh,
of
Phil
weed.
can't answer my question because he's killing rice patties in Cold War, as he says. I don't want to explain that any further.
Is that like some kind of?
I think it's racist.
Is that some like rap guy term or something?
No. It's Cold War. It's probably taking place in some kind of, Eastern Asian country.
So I just threatened to feed my cat to a Vietnamese family. Then we got that. We were getting shut down.
Killing
Yeah.
rice patties and
That's my take on it. I'm not saying that Phil is saying some insensitive things, but he is
Yeah.
definitely.
He's probably just target practicing like skeet shooting, but it's in Vietnam, so it's just rice patties, right?
Let's not get into this anymore. I want to go back to Van Halen. I'm going to talk to him about.
Because there
So
was
my
something-
grandpa was in Korea.
So
My grandpa was in Van Halen.
so Mike brought this up about Wolfgang, not his
Wolfie.
tribute.
Yes.
Wolfie. Dude, I think you're right with what you said, Mike. About he looks like he could be on our show.
Yeah, Wolfie's like fat enough to where he could sit right next to me and Brian and fit right in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like our side. He's
He's like our size. He's got the beard.
Yeah, he's got the
He
beard.
just
yeah.
doesn't have any gray like we do.
No,
But
he'll get there though.
Yeah. So Wolfie, if you ever want this slot,
Well, he is what?
Jay's
about-
not here every
He's
week.
almost 30.
He's still relatively young.
He's right about that age, 20.
Oh, he'll start with all the stress he's gone through lately.
Mars landing in Hanksville.
Oh,
They have
okay.
a simulated area to test landers and rovers.
so they
Oh, I saw that on a show. I didn't realize that was in Utah though.
so it's the modern Area 51 where they pretended to go to the moon.
No, I don't.
But it's there now. They're going to pretend to go to Mars.
Red Rocks, bitches.
Red Rocks.
All right, so Wolfie.
I thought
He could-
Red Rocks was in Colorado though.
By the way, Wolfie can jam
That was
on
the Chappelle
guitar,
Show bit.
really.
Remember the Mars? Red
Yeah,
Rocks, bitches.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, like I saw something about like he's got his own band.
Oh, does he?
That's
Yeah,
and
he
he's
does now.
not-
It's called Van Halen.
Well,
Yeah.
but he was like basically like
Wolf
he's doing
Halen.
something. No, it's called Mammoth or something. Mammoth something.
I don't think.
That's Van Halen's original.
Yeah, I
don't
know,
think-
but he's taking it's Mammoth something. But everybody thought he was doing a tribute, and he's like, I'm not doing Van Halen songs.
Oh,
He goes, this is all songs that I've written, that I've been writing. He goes, there's songs that I've written with my dad, but they're not Van Halen songs.
He was Tremonti's bass player for a while.
Yeah, so apparently he's got something going on. So Area 52.
I haven't bothered looking at him. I
I
did.
have him on Instagram, so that's
Wolfgang?
why I saw it. Yeah.
I mean, how big we talking? How big is he?
Ooh. Oh yeah, he's plus size.
He's plus size. Is he a Foddy, Alan?
Is he
I don't
crack?
know.
Is he
He's
cracking the
plus
three?
size. He's a plus size boy.
Oh God, yeah, he's
Yeah.
fat.
Yeah, he's big.
Fucking fat ass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's been
Yeah.
yeah.
Look,
He's no stranger to the pastry cabinet.
if we're making fun of him, or does that make me and Brian and Uncle Tom making fun of our own kind?
Yeah, he's definitely. There's no shortage of Uber Eats showing up at his house. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
I wonder what his DoorDash bill's probably comparable to mine.
Yeah, probably. He's big. Although this is from last year.
And he was on Howard Stern the other day talking about his dad.
Yeah.
He was using the same mic you guys use. He had the Shure SM.
Oh, sweet.
You know who's the guy? Remember when they had the man show, and then
Yes.
they had the substitute people that came in afterwards?
It was Joe Rogan.
It was Joe Rogan.
Yeah, and it was
Stanhope.
Doug Stanhope.
Yeah.
This picture he looks a little bit like fat Doug Stanhope.
Yeah.
He looks like half D Doug. Or actually, he looks like
Benson.
fat Gerard Way. from My Chemical Romance.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. That
Before
was,
Gerard took the weight back off for that tour they didn't do.
it was too bad that they had to do that. Put those guys on their man show because I like both those. I don't mind Rogan and I like Doug Stanhope.
Somebody said
I love his stand up. He's such an asshole.
Joe Rogan is like Gwyneth Paltrow for men because the stuff he says kind of like is weird, like the stuff she says.
I think that's kind of a bullshit.
Yeah.
I saw that too. It didn't really make sense to me.
I
don't know.
He's fucking nuts. I like him, though.
Really? I think Rogan's pretty straightforward. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, he's weird.
I mean, I like listening to his show a little bit, but
the fact
is
that
nuts.
he likes to give everybody a point of like
a chance to talk.
Oh no, and I'm not talking about that.
It makes him crazy.
No. I love that part because basically he's not like other interviewers where people come on and he's constantly talking. He's just basically giving them a place to speak, and he very rarely.
And that's what I like about his show.
That part's fine. Just when he starts getting stuff, and he's like, and he starts doing like this new age, like the cryo tanks and the floating, the pools that he like, just floats into.
I have friends that have done that too.
Brian,
they don't have them in their house.
Hey Brian, have you ever done a podcast
nonstop.
on mushrooms, man?
Yeah, and the DMT and stuff.
There's DMT, man.
And he brings up just random weird new age stuff.
Have you ever seen a chimpanzee without hair?
So I think the comparison. I don't think the comparison was to his interviewing style. It was more to the weird stuff he likes to do to keep his to his body and to his mind.
What if you saw a woolly mammoth fucking a giraffe?
I just pictured a chimpanzee with hair and started laughing my ass off.
Yeah. He does a lot of what ifs, but that makes a good podcast.
Yeah.
I do. I like it.
He has good guests and everything.
He's
I have
doing
no problem with
something
that.
right. If you look at his numbers,
Yeah.
he's doing something right.
How can I shit on the guy that's ruling what I'm trying to do when I'm at the fucking bottom after 2 years?
I do love that he's like, fuck California. This place sucks. I'm just going to go to Texas.
Yeah.
No. Oh, did he?
Yeah, but now everybody from California is going to move to Texas. It's just going to be the same thing.
You know what?
No, Mike, we're
I'm
not
gonna
on
say
the
this.
bottom.
He's
Our
just
numbers
copying
are better
James
than
Van Der Beek.
theirs.
Yeah.
James Vanderbeek.
Joe Rogan is just copying James Van Der Beek.
So here's what's funny,
He was the
too.
first one to move to Texas.
Is all the fucking...
I thought Sandra Bullock was.
Well, she had placed there, but she's from there originally, isn't she?
But yeah, didn't she go? She like took
James
off
Van Der
and-
Beek uprooted his wife and his 6 kids.
Matthew McConaughey. Wait, he always been there.
And he left L.A., left their house, sold their estate, and just moved to Texas and built a place.
Gotcha.
And they lived there out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You want to know why people don't take this fucking bullshit fucking COVID seriously? Is because in California right now, they fucking had the legislators shut everybody down. They're shutting the whole state down. Don't go anywhere. Don't travel. Don't fucking go anywhere. And then all the legislators took a trip to fucking Hawaii.
Yeah. Yeah.
and the best part about this is there's supposed to be like a 14-day quarantine if you go to Hawaii, like no matter where you
Let me
come
guess,
from.
it doesn't apply to them.
Does not apply to them. They just went to Hawaii and had a good time and had a super important meeting. And everyone's like, yeah, this is why we don't want to listen to you motherfuckers because
Why
you
would
tell
we?
us.
Well, see,
And then the governor ate at some restaurant.
Just like
They shut down the restaurants, and then he ate at a restaurant.
Yeah.
It's just like if you have a kid, okay, and you punish your kid for doing something and say, don't do this, and then you go out and fucking do something like that.
See, now that's different.
Yeah.
Because I'm the adult. You better fucking listen to what the
but
fuck I
that's
say.
exactly what they're saying.
I learned
That's exactly what they're saying.
not wearing a mask.
Do
I
as
learned
I
it from
say.
watching you, Dad.
Yeah, that's exactly what those assholes are saying. They're going, don't do as I say, not as I do. Well,
Yeah,
fuck you. You're an elected public official.
Like our state's
motherfucker.
not nearly as bad. Like if you go, like the California shit's wild. Like they're literally like shoving it in their faces. Like don't go anywhere. Don't travel. Don't fucking do anything.
And they have tons of sunlight in warm weather.
Yes.
It makes less sense to
We
do it
are-
there than here by far.
Like
Paige, you are right. We are the Joe Rogan of Roseville.
Yeah, that's us.
I might not agree with our governor all the time, but she's not nearly the fucking shit that's going on in California
No.
by any means.
No, no.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
Yeah, all those elected officials went to Hawaii and they bypassed the mandatory 14-day quarantine, and then they had a fucking important meeting. Which
Do you
It was
see-
a great
do you-
time.
Do you see Canada? They want to have COVID centers. So you can't. This guy said, not Trudeau, but one of their health ministers is like, well, they have issues with people like spreading among their own family. So they want to do where they fucking take you from your house. So being in your own house ain't enough. It's like Jesus Christ. Can you guys not be a fucking 80s villain?
So wait, they take you from your house and then take you to like one of these
COVID centers.
Centers.
No, it isn't set up. It's an idea. To be fair, it's not happened.
No,
it's an idea.
So to take you to these other places and keep you away from your family.
It's a COVID tracing camp.
That's what I'm gonna say. It sounds like
so. This is basically
Look,
well, I mean, they didn't do that in World War II, did it? They didn't take people from their homes and put them in camps.
Do you remember when this first started?
Yeah,
we were sending
That's
all
right.
the COVID patients to the fucking nursing homes.
Yeah,
that was a great move.
Yeah, protect your elderly. We need to care about the elderly, but let's just send all the fucking sick people to where all the old people.
But it was only to the crappy nursing homes. It wasn't to any of the nice ones.
It was the poor people. I mean, fuck them.
Well,
that's what they.
And this is why we're not taking it seriously, because if you just dig a little deeper into what's going on.
I know it's real. I have family members that had it and they got sick and went to the hospital. It's real.
It's real.
But I think the response is exagigared. I think it's an exaggerated response.
I mean, I think
that spring made a nice noise.
Like our state's been, it is what it is, but like
we got somebody.
We got a spam bot.
The whole shit in California is bizarre as hell.
Famous?
Oh, I know.
Splat.
It's funny because the governor's Newsom, right? Gavin Newsom.
Gavin Newsom.
So they're like, you can't do this, and he goes to the French Laundry, which is like the most exclusive restaurant in the
I thought it was Gavin Rossdale.
No, Gavin Rossdale, governor of California.
Everybody
but that's funny. That
wants
restaurant, my buddy who just moved to California because his wife works for
just moved
like 3 weeks.
Yeah,
his wife works for Facebook for the Zuck, and they have reservations there. I'm like, oh man, you're gonna lose your reservations. He's like, no, they're still open. They're letting us in. It's like, how are they gonna do that? He's like, everything's outdoors. It's like, what's the weather like? I don't know, like 50. So he's gonna be sitting out in 50 in windswept San Francisco.
It's fucking
eating
wild though.
Seeing like $800 meal that you can't get your money back for. So no matter what, he has to go because otherwise he doesn't get his money back, and you had to pay in advance for this $800 meal.
Jesus,
no refunds.
Why did he pay $800?
It's an anniversary gift, and plus they're rich now.
Yeah, no.
See, the problem is when you act
fuck your anniversary.
When you
$800
when you
meal.
act corrupt one way, you get the other, like the guy down in Florida is like, come down here, do the NBA down here, make out. I don't care, do whatever you want down here in Florida.
So yeah, exactly. So he's letting you do whatever you want, but no matter what, they're still spreading this thing.
Well, that's the problem. Nobody's coming to a common. We know COVID's dangerous. We know it's contagious.
I don't think we're going to see the numbers drop here with what they're doing with the 3-week restaurant shutdown thing.
No, I don't.
Why would it?
They've basically shown that lockdowns and it doesn't matter. You still have to go. Everyone still has to go get food. So when you go to the fucking Walmart and you get it there, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
you got to go somewhere. Fuck it. I say just open it up and hope you live.
They said like 4.9% of all the outbreaks, which by the way, they said outbreaks in the state are 2 people in the same place having the virus.
That shuts down your business. So if you have a business, if 2 guys like if Al and a coworker at his place, it's got to go 2 weeks. They got to shut down.
It's fucking crazy. But then they said
it's
4 something percent is like traced back to restaurants. The biggest percentage was unknown.
Exactly. Because you can't monitor everybody.
Think about like
you can't.
Think about like big shops.
Because you should.
Think about the big 3 automakers.
It's a virus. It will spread no matter what.
I mean, you're on a line you're on a line building cars. Those people aren't 6 feet apart wearing masks all day. I guarantee it.
No.
They are when they walk in the door because they have to be, but as soon as they're in that place, they're not 6 feet apart.
Or they're doing this famous, it's a bra around my chin. It's a chin strap.
Well,
chin diaper.
Another thing too is like apartment buildings.
Yeah.
Everybody shares the ventilation. One person in that it goes all through the vents. You can't stop it.
Yep.
You cannot stop it.
Yep.
Mike, I can't see the monitors.
I can't either, man. I don't know what to do. It's this Samsung.
Monitor, your TV.
What?
It's this Samsung.
How am I supposed to know what's going on with the fans?
Yeah.
I feel like the world is a vampire.
Ready to change?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the good thing is
what's this?
Oh, his apps popped up. Your apps popped up. It doesn't matter.
I can't see.
We can see stuff.
Well, I had to
That's
take
old.
a spam bot off. I blocked him.
Yes.
No, I know, but you're on your TV itself, not on your screen.
Oh,
there.
the ads, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
this here apps.
The wiffle ball fucking.
No,
No,
on
no.
your
Spam.
Turn around, Mike.
turn around.
Turn around. That.
Oh.
Yeah, just get rid of that. Apps. Oh, Phil wants us to buy him.
buy his
buy
cum.
his
Buy
cum.
your cum?
Buy my cum.
I don't have the money.
I
for
like
that.
the umlauts over the Y's and the U.
Umlauts.
Is that what that's called? Umlaut?
Yeah.
Umlauts. Buy my cum. Umlauts.
It looks really cool over the Lowenbrow. Let's put it over the Motley Crue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Oh. But
Oh, wait, that was a Vince Neil.
it was really bad, Vince Neil. You know,
Vince Neil.
but it's
Our number one.
Yeah, theirs
target.
was not the umlauts. It's the dots, right?
oh, those are umlauts. They got it from a Lowenbrow bottle.
Is that the dots over his thing?
Oh,
there?
his might be. I don't know.
I don't know what his is over.
Let me see if I can do it on mine.
I don't know what that is that he's got. It's the
Probably not umlauts.
arrow thingy.
Those are
looking-
cum stains.
Yeah, that's it.
Well,
He's got cum
Another-
stains over his
that-
Y's.
another thing too about the virus, I've known two people.
Yeah.
That I don't know them personally, but they were customers. I know them from work, and they do have health issues.
Mhm.
They were paranoid, and they've done everything they can to not leave their house since March. Like they're paranoid, and I understand they got health issues. They both fucking got it.
Yeah.
That's
Staying
yeah.
home, it's like, dude, I think it's just got to burn through shit, and people got to. I don't believe in herd immunity, but I mean, you just got to get over time. People, you know.
Well, yeah, and we've discussed the one main thing is how contagious it is.
It's super contagious.
How easy it is to get it. We've discussed this. You're not going to be able to avoid it. Not everybody's going to be able to avoid it.
You know who else wants herd immunity? Johnny Depp, because he wants that bitch on his
Oh, yeah, he does.
That's what we should have called that clip.
He wants some
immunity.
Amber Heard immunity.
Yeah, herd immunity.
Anyways, I'm done with the Amber Heard stuff now.
Yeah, but she, what did Phil said something earlier about she needed
She's
Courtney
Courtney
Love.
herself.
yeah, she needed a Cobaining.
Yeah.
Do you
All this virus talk.
sending me to my grave with AIDS.
You're probably more like
What the hell was that?
Oh, you never heard
We're
that
talking
one?
about
that's a long
virus.
time ago.
Oh, that's old.
That's when I used to get hammered and do the show.
Yes,
And it was
some good times.
it was a guy poked me with a fucking like thread needle.
Yeah,
And
you thought you were gonna get AIDS from
because
it.
they were so paranoid about AIDS in the 90s, and I thought like
About AIDS or about AIDS?
getting AIDS.
About AIDS.
So we've covered a lot of stuff except
Well,
for
you know what? Mike brought something up, and I pointed this out. It was like Wednesday night or Thursday night. I looked out the window, and like it was really weird sunset, like yellow and gold, and we had just watched the fucking Outsiders with C. Thomas
Scott
Howell.
Hall and
Yeah.
Kevin Nash?
Yes, C. Thomas Howell and Ralph Macchio. And there's a part where they had just left town because Johnny had murdered Leif Garrett.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Outsiders.
Soch.
And they're watching the sunset, and it looked all golden and stuff. And like the next night I saw them, I'm like, oh, it looks like the fucking Stay Gold pony boy outside. And the kids actually understood what the hell I was saying. I didn't know, and I said, oh, that's because of the smog. I was making a joke because that's what they always talk about in L.A. was the sunsets always look really cool because of the smog.
The smug.
Smog. And I didn't know it was because of some greenhouse gases from Canada and shit.
Yeah, it was greenhouse gases over in the Windsor area.
Oh, okay.
So we had a golden sky for the first time.
It was crazy.
So it wasn't a smug alert. It was just actually
Well, no.
greenhouse gas.
It wasn't actual.
X evaporated into smug.
Yeah,
It's the same day.
gaseous
was.
clay.
Gaseous clay.
Gaseous clay.
Yeah.
It kind of sounded like you said gaseous, but also
Gaseous.
gash
Gaseous.
his clay, which I'm trying to
Gaseous.
figure out how you gash someone's clay.
Gash. Is that still a slang term for pussy?
Sure.
Okay.
Dude, anything you want, we can.
My favorite was the football player.
Anything you want.
You can call it.
There was that football player at one point named Sam Gash, and every time I heard his name, I was like, Gash.
One of my favorites is still Quim, man.
Quim's good.
Quim, yeah. Lick my bloody quim.
No,
I
was-
worked
it
with
was-
Hinkle at one point, and he said that while one of our bosses, she was a raging bitch to him. But he's like, I'm so sick of that fucking seeping gash in her. I was like, that's beautiful. She hated him so much.
Fucking me and Jay, like like when we were like 16, we worked with this chick at I worked at KFC for 2 days. He worked there for like 4 months, but only because she worked there. But her name was Kim, and the way she spelled it, she had a weird way of spelling it. So
KKKIM.
So I kept calling her Quim. And Jay's like, dude, where'd you get that word? I go, oh, it was in one of these dirty magazines. It's like a British term for calling it a pussy.
It was from Mayfair, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, lick my juicy Quim.
That's where I first saw Dirt Box for the first time.
Dirt box.
Yeah.
Lick my cunny.
Yeah.
Just a teenage dirt box.
Yeah.
Teenage Dirt Box. Dirt Box is a butthole.
Yeah.
I figured that out.
But Quim, there's a bunch of them. But
Quim from Jaws?
I want to go back to the greenhouse gases real quick. Let me finish this up. So, what caused the extra greenhouse gases? It wasn't actually 89X going out of business. It was something else, right?
I have no idea what caused it.
Damn it! I thought you had all the inside information.
Okay. Damn.
No, I have no
I
information.
wonder
at
why?
all.
Because it was all of a sudden out of like nowhere. We never had anything like that before.
No, I've never seen nothing. I didn't know what it was at first. I'm like, what in the
Well,
fuck?
we had some weird ones earlier in the year when all the forest fires and stuff in California. Remember, because everything was working its way east, and we had some weird sunsets.
Are these earthquake lights?
That was in the summer, because he took a picture of the one.
But I don't know what caused this. I don't know what would cause the extra greenhouse gases.
That was the day you took me to work, right?
I think it was Thursday. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a couple of nights ago. I know that because the outsiders.
And then gash,
Cassius Clay,
Quim,
Yeah.
Dirt Box.
Quim.
Yeah, it's funny you mention that because the British porn mags always had such weird terminology in it, stuff I never heard before. Quim was one of them.
But see, if we were over there, it wouldn't be weird.
No.
If we were British.
Yeah, that's
Quim,
true. Just I
Dirt
never
Box.
weird stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Weird stuff. Wacky.
One of the guys at work was talking about some chick, I don't remember her, and he showed me a picture of her. I go, oh yeah, dude, I'd tongue fuck her fart box. He fucking lost it. He's like, what the fuck was that?
Did you get that from the Margot Robbie thing?
I don't remember where I got it. I just said it to him. I don't remember where I heard it.
Because you know how Kimmel has where people read like mean tweets,
Yeah.
and the people actually
Maybe
read.
that was where I got
And
it.
Margot Robbie was reading this. She's like, somebody said, that Margot Robbie's hot. I would love to tongue punch her fart box. And she read it, and she's like, that's gross. But she had this smile on her face thinking, that's not that gross. You know?
Sounds fun.
Yeah. She's like, that's
I'm
gross.
going to send this kid a message as soon as I get off the air.
Will Smith did that to me. Actually,
Was
is
Wolf
what she
of
was
Wall
thinking.
Street like her first thing?
Oh, Will Smith did that to you? What?
I said Will Smith did that to her, so that's what she was probably thinking.
Well, speaking of Will Smith, did anybody see any of the reunion yet from the Fresh Prince?
Nah.
No?
Nah.
Because they're doing just a reunion thing where they all got back together and talked about stuff, but they're doing a reboot of the show, but it's a drama.
Oh.
Yeah, which fuck that shit. I'll watch the Fresh Prince. I ain't watching no dramatic version of it.
No, man.
Hour-long episodes
No.
about Bel Air. But anyways, they
No.
did that, and did you ever watch Fresh Prince before, you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
You guys were
Come
live
on,
in the
man.
90s when it was on? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I was just made that like Uncle Phil was the voice of Shredder.
he was a lot of voices, but yeah, Shredder was the big one. But like what, season 4 or something, all of a sudden there was a new Aunt Viv. Remember that? It was like season 4. It was like the last 2 years, I think, of the show.
Yeah.
And never really knew why. He always said it was because she was an evil bitch, which I actually believed. But
I believe it.
I believe it too. But it also sounds like he kind of fessed up. They had one of those red table talks. Have you ever seen a Will Smith red table talk?
He's done a lot of them this last year.
You haven't seen any? Like when they talked about her, what was it that
Infidelity.
what was they call it? Infidelity? What
No.
we did a whole.
Yes. What
segment
the hell
on
did
it.
I'm the one that kept bringing it up. I hated that what they
Mike, what
called
was
it.
the term when she cheated on him?
Entanglement.
Entanglements. Anyways, there's another one of those, and he was talking about how they got along fine, but she started saying stuff, and he found out he couldn't control her, and that's when his dragon came out. His dragon, but not his dick. It's like internal dragon. And he
This
got
was
mean
about Aunt Viv.
about the first Aunt Viv, and he basically
Oh, I thought you were talking about when Jada Pinkett Smith cheated on him.
no, it's about the red table talk. He did another one.
That was just an entanglement.
That was an entanglement. So this other
That's
entanglement.
not cheating.
It's
No.
not cheating. It's
just an
It's
entanglement.
a quantum entanglement.
With a 22-year-old rapper that's never gonna have a song out.
Never. No, this one he did a Red Table Talk talking about how he was when he was younger and the treatment he gave towards Aunt Viv 1.0, and how they got along fine, but then something he figured out that she wasn't going to give in to him, even though he was the popular one and he was the
his
star of the
show?
show. It was his show. She wasn't going to give in, and that's when his internal dragon came out, and he got angry with her, and that was the beginning of the end. He was going to get her off that show.
Oh,
And she knew that, but the story in the press was always that she was hard to deal with and this and that, and she probably was, but she comes from a different background. She wasn't a sitcom actor. She was a Broadway actor and stuff. She did things differently. And this young guy comes in from off the streets.
She wasn't like, I ain't
Of
wearing no
Philadelphia.
blackface and saying mammy.
And so basically, after like 30 years, he was like, yeah, it was my fault. I was a dick.
Well, that's what I told you, because she said that like the guy that played Carlton was like, that's been your tampon hanging off your ass the whole time.
Yeah.
Which, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking before the show about
I actually
different people that hated each other that worked on shows.
Yeah.
And Aunt B absolutely hated Andy Griffith.
That's so weird.
It's so weird.
Because Andy Griffith is generally known as one of the all-time nicest people ever.
Well,
She just hated him.
like
Hated everybody. They said she hated a lot of
She's just a
everybody.
miserable cunt.
Gash,
Well, like-
seeping gash.
like on
Cunt.
that would be like like finding out like on the Brady Bunch that like Alice the maid hated like absolutely hated Florence Henderson or something.
Well, that cast did have some issues.
Well, they did have some issues, but like her like being the nicest person,
Yeah.
and then TV mom of the fucking one TV mom of the century,
Yeah.
hating each other. Which if anybody knows, the late great Ann B. Davis was a very, very spiritual and beautiful, lovely woman who
Who's Andy Davis? Oh, that's Alice, isn't it?
did God's
Sorry.
work all her life. Seriously.
Oh, did
that-
she?
Seriously, yes. Like dead serious that she
Mm-hmm.
was a very, very, very sweet person. Hated nobody. So, but to hear something that would be like, thinking about Aunt B hating Andy Griffin, the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand hating
she
Don
had
Knotts.
she had to, yeah, like, did she hate Opie? She probably hated that little fucker too.
She probably hate children in general.
She's like that goddamn Opie.
Fucking
Do
Opie.
you remember like the Chappelle show when they did like they were doing like racist like celebrity animals like Rin Tin Tin, he was racist.
Oh yeah, the
He
dolphin.
was- yeah, the dolphin. Yeah, or Mr. Ed.
Yeah.
And he calls the black girl the N-word and she breaks the bottle. I'm gonna cut that bitch.
Yeah, that shit was fucking great.
I'm trying to find other instances of co-stars that hate each other.
He was like,
None of them are really
he was like,
surprising.
no,
yet.
man, Mr. Ed,
I know.
man, he was a horse for the KKK.
No, I know a lot of movies that happened, but that's
That's yeah.
big-headed actors and actresses are always going to be.
One great one that Mike's talking about is Island of Dr. Moreau with Val Kilmer.
Oh, yeah.
And fucking whatchamacallit,
Marlon Brando.
Marlon Brando. Yeah, those dudes fucking hated one another.
Really?
Yeah, they did.
That does not surprise me
There's
because they're both kind of like.
That movie's actually kind of underrated. Like people hate it, but I
didn't
dig
hate it. I actually saw it and I didn't hate it. I mean, it's not something I've watched over and over, but
Haters
I saw
I
gonna
it.
will say
hate.
I have not watched it since
Lovers
it came out, basically.
The fucking costumes and like makeup for the creatures is actually pretty solid in that movie.
Really?
Yeah, that does not shock me one bit. Like if somebody said, yeah, during the filming they hated each other, I'd be like, yeah, that doesn't really surprise me.
Marlon Brando at the end of his career was a fucking super goddamn weird dude.
Yeah.
It was always weird though. He was always kind of weird. I mean,
Even when they filmed what's it, Apocalypse Now, he was supposed to be like all ripped and he's fat
He
as
came
fuck.
in all
Oh, he
fat.
showed up. Yeah, he showed up all
so
like.
they had to shoot him in fucking like dark just to fucking make the movie work.
Yep.
It's Marlon Brando. He can do what he wants.
He can do what he wants.
Are you finding any celebrity? There was one.
There's-
That you,
Deborah Winger and Richard Gere hated each other,
I've heard that. Yeah.
and that to do love scenes and stuff was difficult because they just
well, you were saying something before the show about like there was a sitcom, but you couldn't remember what it was.
Yeah, I can't remember. There was I think it was SNL. There was like two people that fucking. Oh, you know what it was?
Oh, Chris Kattan and Norm Macdonald. Like Norm Macdonald, like totally. Oh, dude, some of the stories are great, man. Jim Brewer tells great stories about that.
What about the fucking Andy Dick John Lovett shit because of Phil Hartman?
Yep.
Yeah. On news radio and shit.
Yeah,
Yep.
and there's one point where John Lovitz took fucking Andy Dick's head and just slammed it into a fucking bar.
Dude, John Lovitz. I mean, Phil Hartman was like his best friend, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I was watching the shit. Like he was talking about the skit they were doing, like a Twilight Zone skit, and he was supposed to be like doing who's the guy? Rod Serling. He was supposed to be. Norm Macdonald was. So during rehearsal, he keeps going, with this nasally voice, the Twilight Zone. Chris Kattan's like, you sound like crap. You need to work on that. And like bitching the whole week. And 5 seconds before it airs, he goes, like Pamela Anderson was in it. And he said all Chris Kattan was doing all week was just hitting on her, like trying to get with her.
I always thought he was a gay.
Yeah, well, and he goes, Norm goes,
thought he was a gay.
Norm goes 5 seconds before he goes, hey, Chris, why don't you quit trying to pound on Pamela Anderson? We already all know you're a queer, and then like bam, then kicks right in and he does this perfect Rod Serling impersonation. And Jim Brewer's like, I'm turned away. I'm in the skit. I'm laughing my ass off. And Chris Kattan's turned away, and he's like just raging pissed about it. But what's funny about it is like I've heard all this shit over and over again. But then Chris Kattan was on Stern, and he's acting like he doesn't know what. No, I don't even know why he had just one little issue, but I don't even know why. I think it was because of the cover of this Rolling Stone we did or something. No, he was an asshole all the time, bitching at how people were doing their lines and stuff.
Chris Kattan strikes me as a guy that's going to be a little bit of a fucking annoying.
That's what they said.
Guy.
He's a pest.
A little weasel ass.
Yeah, because Jim Brewer, like, I mean, like, the way he was talking about it, he was like, yeah, dude, he was like, this guy was just constantly bickering about every little thing, but when he told the story, he's like, he goes, dude, and they were like, the Twilight Zone was like, Pamela Anderson was in it or something, and she, like, they did plastic surgery, and they all had, like, pig faces, and they made her, like, look beautiful, and they're like doctors, and they all got pig faces, and they're like, whoa, she's smoking hot, and the one chick nurse who's got a pig face is like, no, she doesn't look like us. He goes, yeah, I know, she looks smoking hot.
Yeah, that's based off of that old. Yeah, it's a vintage old fucking.
Yep.
Where those people went into a pig people world.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's based and at the end, the one girl that she goes, oh, you're gonna look in the mirror at yourself, and she's like this gorgeous woman. And then they find this really hot guy that isn't a pig person. Like, he might seem disturbing to you, but he's gonna take you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
so that was obviously a take on that.
Oh yeah,
whole thing.
he's like, Jim Brewer was like, if you go back and watch that skit, he goes, right as it's starting, he's like, you'll see me. We're all turned away from the camera. He's like, you'll see me. If you look at my shoulders, he goes, they're lurching because I'm laughing so hard and I'm trying not to because I have to turn around in a minute. He's like,
I'd rather watch him laugh than fucking Fallon just laughing every fucking skit they did.
Oh, yeah.
Jimmy Fallon could not hold himself together for anyone.
No.
He would have never made it working with Farley ever.
No.
Jimmy Fallon was the worst at breaking characters.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, just going back to the Matt Foley one with Christina Applegate and David Spade, and David Spade just like he's like
rolling doobies.
Yeah. He's like trying so hard.
Is that Bill Shakespeare over there?
Moving the glasses up and down. Yeah.
On the information superhighway.
Also Chris Kattan, but Tracy Morgan didn't like Chris Kattan and Sherry O'Terry. Because he said they treated him like shit. And Tracy Morgan says, well, look who won that one. Where's Chris Kattan now? That's a good point.
Yeah. I forgot Tracy Morgan almost died also.
He also did die, yeah. Almost did die.
Yeah, and that car accident.
Another victim of Walmart.
Yep. It's true.
I love when people talk about when they do like their Tracy Morgan impersonations. They're like,
I didn't know this, but you know who's named the worst ever host of SNL?
Steven Seagal.
Yep.
I figured it would have been Nancy Kerrigan.
I mean, at least Nancy Kerrigan people got along with. Steven Seagal, no one got along with.
Well,
He thought every skit was making fun of him.
Yeah.
Which,
Why would you even have somebody like him host the show?
They always like to do that stuff. It's people you're not expecting and stuff.
But still, like he just seems humorless.
Ever host SNL?
No.
He just seems humorless.
Because that would be great.
Yeah, he's a absolute asshole.
Apparently, everybody hated the blonde.
Look up
Victoria Jackson.
Oh, okay.
Early 90s.
Look up the YouTube video, Steven Seagal, the Great Liar, where everyone just hates him.
Yeah.
And Rob Schneider was talking about like dealing with him.
Oh yeah.
And he said Steven Seagal comes in his trailer and he's all like dead serious. He goes, "I just read the greatest script I've ever read in my life." And he goes, "Oh yeah, who wrote it?" He's like, "I did." Just a total egomaniac. Then John Leguizamo bitches about like how he was just horrible to him when they did that
executive decision.
Yeah. So yeah,
that's the best Seagal movie ever.
Steven Seagal,
like
the Great Liar. Look it up.
I'm gonna check that out because I love Steven Seagal movies from the late 80s, early 90s. They're fucking terrible, but they're awesome.
They're awesome.
But man, that guy just thought so much of himself.
I told you before about the book Seagology.
Yeah,
that book is incredible, and it breaks down every movie, but it's fucking written amazingly.
I'm gonna still check that out.
Who wrote it? He did.
Just some fan, just some fanboy.
This is the greatest book about me. You know who wrote it? I did.
It's pretty fucking great. The book, it's written so tongue in cheek. It's fucking fun.
I was gonna say something. I don't remember. It was about Seagal too. Also, he has a lot of guitars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, that's like his addiction is buying guitars.
He makes really bad music too.
He plays all of them. But yeah,
he makes music too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like sings.
It's very like what's the word? Like
terrible.
Horrible. Shitty.
Like if you had to compare it to another type of music, another band.
It's it's really hard to describe.
Well, it's his own style.
It's like the Jeff Healey band. The Jeff Healey band meets Cannibal Corpse. I don't know. I was trying to think of two completely opposite bands. Jeff Healey.
All right, so you're saying I need to like go listen to it and make.
He's a very talented musician, but the music sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, he can play.
Yeah, he can.
Because the thing I saw when they're showing off all his guitars, his collection and stuff, he played. He's like, this one I got from this, and he'd plug it in and play it. Like, and this one I got from this. So it was like 2 hours. Just and this one I got from blah blah blah, and it was signed by this person, and he would play like every guitar. And finally, they're like, all right, and they tried to move the interview along.
So you think like if I Google or if I YouTube him, I'll find like
his music?
Yeah.
Yeah. You should look it up.
Yeah.
I think we lost all the reviewers, by the way.
Did we?
Well, it was at 6 at one point, and
talking about Steven Seagal music doesn't do it for you.
You guys aren't into that Steven Seagal music? What the hell?
Steven Seagal music. Here we go.
That's what I was just gonna tag this as just Steven Seagal music and see how many followers we get from it. We'll see what happens.
So I only had one other topic tonight.
Do it.
It's super hard to wrap my head around. So there's obviously porn stars and Twitter. And the porn stars and Twitter want to be very awoke. Like they want they want to be like everything for civil rights, blah blah blah. But their industry is the most counterproductive thing to what they're trying to champion.
Absolutely.
Because they still do like BBC and like gangbang.
No,
and like
porn is the only genre where you can be like blatantly stereotypical.
Racist, yeah.
Even pro wrestling can't do it anymore.
No, exactly.
So
and they constantly reference, if there's an interracial scene, there's constant reference to who they're fucking's.
Okay, so I'm happy you guys understand where I'm coming
absolutely.
from this. Yeah, I didn't know how to put it into words.
Yeah, you want this black dick in your ass.
Yes.
That's
Exactly.
everything, yeah.
Why does it have to be a black dick? Why can't it's just a dick?
Yes.
I got you.
So we're having this weird like phenomenon right now where like the porn stars.
Alan is picking up on Mike.
What's that?
He's playing the Seagal music.
So we have this weird phenomenon now where like the porn stars want to be woke and like
That sounds like
respective,
Switchfoot.
but their whole industry is built on the opposite.
But you know, here's another one that's an oxymoron too. To be fair to both sides, there are conservative porn stars.
But that doesn't seem like
that
that
doesn't.
would be,
How does that make sense whatsoever?
I don't know.
So I'm a conservative traditionalist. Brandy Love is her name.
And she does porn.
She likes the traditional. She's the traditional.
I
family.
like to be traditionally fucked in every hole.
And it's not her husband in every scene, I'm sure, because it's different. Yeah, I don't know.
I just never understood.
So my point is, porn people aren't human.
They're
So it doesn't-
inhumans.
So yeah, well,
I never understood.
It's weird wanting to be woke for civil rights when you are in an industry that like specifies every genre for what it like BBC and all that shit. So
Well, it's always been anybody who does the porn has always been kind of, I don't know if hypocritical is the right word, but
yeah.
there's many.
that is probably the right word.
There was
honestly.
many times where like you would have porn star women who would, they'd be doing the movies for a while, and then they would hook up with somebody in the industry, and they'd get married. Like, well, I don't want to cheat on my husband anymore. If I'm making these scenes with these guys, I'm cheating on my husband. I'm going to do girl only scenes. That's still technically cheating because you're having sex with somebody who's not your spouse.
Right.
But it's always been like that. It's just it's always been an industry of contradictions. And
I wouldn't kiss somebody on the mouth or some weird rule like that.
Yeah, but you're taking their dick in your ass.
I'm thinking more about the race stuff at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Baseball still does it sometimes too. You'll get like some Hispanic sounding music when like somebody comes out to the bat and is Hispanic.
You have the electric horn. Ding, 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 ding.
Here's Chile Garcia.
I mean, it used to be bad. It'd be like Ramon Santiago, and then the Mexican hat dance would play.
And then when a white guy gets up there, it's always like Metallica.
Or country music. Yeah. And it's for a black guy, it's always hip hop. Always. So
don't they pick their music though?
They do. A lot of them do now, but yeah. But like that's the thing. If you have some guy coming up,
Jay,
who
don't
just,
kill the bit.
Yeah, you're messing the bit.
We don't.
Yeah.
They don't always pick their music. They'll like
killer.
Especially if you have people coming up from like the minors and stuff. They aren't picking their fucking music.
No.
But a lot of them would be like Justin Upton, and all of a sudden Kendrick Lamar's playing and stuff.
Yeah,
he picked that. But but porn's always
like every black guy comes up, it's bust a move.
Yeah.
Yep. So my thing is, porn people aren't allowed to give their opinion.
Yeah, they're less than human.
Yeah.
They're garbage people.
They're 3/5 of a human being.
Okay, I'm sorry you were molested or human trafficked into your trade. Okay.
They're 3/5 of a human being.
Yeah. Do they get the acres and a mule?
Oh my gosh.
You
God.
are 60% human.
What?
Are we gonna fucking fight a civil war to emancipate them?
Maybe. Let's free them from their bonds. Their bonds of servitude.
The bill bonds.
The bill bonds.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you this. We got time. Okay. What the hell is Master Reddit?
Okay, Master Reddit.
This has to do with porn, so you'll like this. You'll like this, Jay.
I try not to post on Reddit because I hate it. But there's so much information on there and cool stuff, even though I hate Reddit.
I usually go there to look at porn-related stuff, yeah.
Well, anyways, they got these forums of people. Give your story I don't even know what it's called. I don't know the name of the particular forum that they chat on, but people give their, truck drivers, give your nastiest experience at a, pick a thing.
Like a lot lizard.
Have any of you ever tell your story about sleeping with a stepmom or whatever? But I read these stories. One in this YouTube channel is called Master Reddit, and he just does where the text and then the automated voice over it. Where you type it out.
Yeah.
And I realized this is the modern day Penthouse forum. This is all bullshit.
Dear Penthouse letters.
People are telling fake stories.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Wait. You think Penthouse letters was fake?
Yeah.
No.
Remember I remember the Penthouse forums. I would actually read the stories. Because every single Penthouse forum story back in the day, they came twice. it's always they never just come once. Like
Oh, yeah.
He's like,
No, man.
I was totally wore out for this crazy session, but then she started licking the tip, and we went at it again. And like
That's
it's
a drop.
Yeah, and it always goes into a second like phase of the sex.
Yeah, it's like
Oh, yeah.
no real person could do it twice in a night.
But every single person on Penthouse Forum could do 2 comes.
Well, it's the same. It's also the same thing with the guy's talking about like his meeting a woman and then her friend coming in and he just makes them both like have multiple orgasms.
Oh yeah,
one
it was
after
always
another.
something like that. Yeah,
I'm like, yeah, dude,
My car broke down in
I'm like,
Decatur.
sorry, dude, I've done a threesome. It's not fucking easy to please 2 fucking
There's-
women.
there's
It doesn't usually go real well.
I
You
gotta
can't
imagine-
please one.
I gotta imagine logistically, it's
It
difficult
doesn't
to
go.
pull off.
Usually, that's something that I'll do that with you because you guys, the 2 girls, can have fun too with themselves. Yeah, but come on,
You'll never guess what happens next. He
I mean,
fixes
I
the
don't have a
table.
Swiss Army cock. You know?
Swiss Army cock.
I don't have a Swiss Army cock. I can't be pleasing 2 at once.
Oh man.
Yeah, so it's always these. It's the same thing though. The master Reddit, all those Reddit stories are clearly works.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I'll have to
Make
check
us
it out though. I
fun.
didn't realize what.
Well,
it
there's
was.
young. There's a whole. There's a whole generation of kids that don't know where that all started.
Right.
Those type of stories.
Oh, they think
Penthouse
it's-
forums.
They think it's something fresh and new and
It's like,
hip.
oh yeah, people are telling the
Yeah,
fuck
dude.
stories.
Like they had
Fuck
Penthouse,
stories.
Penthouse Forum, and then they had Variations. That
And-
was
and
another
then-
book.
then the
Yeah,
one
it
is
was all
pe-
just stories.
if you slept with a celebrity, give your experience.
Oh,
And
God.
Then the one that was weird, some guy, because it's a really old woman. I was like, man, this guy must be 70 years old. He's like, I fucked Eartha Kitt on an airplane.
Oh yeah. You told us about that.
I was like, what? You fucked what in 1952? When did you do this? I know Eartha Kitt wasn't 80 years old blowing you into fucking first class.
No.
You know what I mean?
Well, wait, what was wasn't she in the one with Eddie Murphy? With
Ernest Scared Stupid.
no, she was in with Eddie Murphy and
She fucked some guy in an airplane. That's what I know.
Robin Givens. She was like wasn't it her that she owned the company and she like
Oh,
made
that
it-
was that Boomerang?
Boomerang, right?
Was she in that?
Eartha
I know
Kitt.
Grace Jones was in that too,
No,
but she was like some weird model lady. But Eartha Kitt was in Ernest Scared Stupid. That's what I always think of. Or She was Bat or Catwoman at one point too.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but
It was
No, like he
Yeah.
basically he slept with her because she was the owner of the company, but she was really wasn't. She didn't really own anything anymore. She didn't really-
Eartha Kitt in
You know,
Boomerang.
I'm gonna find there. I'm gonna put on there. You know, I fucked Julie Newmar in a fucking Amtrak train. I'm just fucking. It's like just. Then one of you guys can do. I fucked Michelle Pfeiffer in a fucking
Yeah,
in a people mover.
in a dumpster
Yeah.
behind the Benihana.
She was Lady Eloise.
yeah,
in
every
Boomerang.
Catwoman. Anne Hathaway blew me in a fucking jungle Java.
Yeah.
Just fucking.
Now that one sounds like it could be real. No, I don't know much about Anne Hathaway. I'm sure she didn't do that.
Yeah. Well, it's all fake. You can be whatever you want. Cause
Oh,
all
we're not
doing
telling
is-
real stories,
Yeah, we're
yeah.
lying. It can be,
Is there any other Catwoman I can think of? No.
Broadway one.
Was there?
I fucked Catwoman on ice.
That was Catwoman on Broadway.
It's
Yeah.
a chick from Cats,
Yeah,
Yeah.
the musical.
yeah,
Well, Lee Merriweather did it for a minute.
yeah. Lee Merriweather. She was Catwoman for a minute.
For a minute,
She was hot too.
From yep, because there was 3 different ones. It was Lee, yep, on the Batman series.
Lee Merriweather, Julie Newmar, and Eartha Kitt.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
Julie Newmar was a piece.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Oh
Hot
yeah.
dude.
Oh yeah.
6 foot tall.
she
What
was.
was
formed.
what was the
Tu Wong Fu.
yeah Tu Wong Fu?
What's up?
Tu Wong Fu. Thanks for everything, Julie
That
Newmar.
movie sucked.
I never saw it.
Imagine her in that wet leather just sitting on you even before it gets going.
Dude,
Jesus Christ.
like just remember when she would try to seduce Adam West,
Fetish.
in the show. She'd try to seduce Batman.
I was being seduced on a black and white TV.
I'm like, dude, you do that to me. I'm like, you're getting the boner after
Yeah.
after that scene's cut. I'll be like, come on,
I guess
The
Gotham's going to go
boner.
up. Gotham's going up in flames because
you're
I'm
getting
fucking
the bat
Catwoman.
boner. You're getting the bat boner, big time.
You got your Bat Viagra, so you can get it up.
Yeah.
Bat Viagra.
Bat.
Holy.
No. Everything in the Batman universe was always bat. something. It always had to be the full name,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Like it was like
Bat
McDonald's
Viagra.
with the McChicken, the
Shark
McNuggets.
Yeah,
The bat
there's
shark
the bat
repellent.
shark.
Gotta take a bat
Which made
shit.
no sense because you were
Right.
saying bat shark repellent.
Yep. But yeah, there were,
Clicking those fucking heels together to make ice skates come out.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Such a good movie.
That
Batman
movie
and Robin.
sucks so hard.
It's fun to watch because it's so bad, though.
what's that?
Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, I didn't
and
see it.
it has
Is that wait?
Arnold as Mr. Freeze.
Stay cruel.
His one-liners are so bad. They're awesome.
There's a cut diamond that's the size of a goddamn
Well-
softball.
Yeah. It's so bad. So bad. You know what? But it's still, to a point, entertaining because it's so bad. But then you get, like, what the fuck's her name? Who plays Batgirl? Clueless.
Alicia Silverstone.
Silverstone.
They're all
Back to Aerosmith.
no. They're all bad. The movie's bad, but at least there's parts they seem to know it's cheesy and stuff. But her acting itself is just so god awful in that movie. It's so much worse than everybody else's in that movie.
Yeah.
There was a good part of it when the credits roll
Yeah.
at the end.
Yeah, that's true. That was a good part. That was probably my favorite part.
When I went out to get popcorn. And
They
one of
managed
Never
to have
came back.
Alfred be the same guy the whole fucking time. That's amazing.
Yeah, he's the only one that made it through all the movies,
Yeah.
and that guy was old.
From the original.
From 1980, Michael Keaton on.
Yeah, and I didn't mean from the Batman TV
Michael
series.
Gough. Gough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then he was in Sleepy Hollow, and then he died.
Yeah, Alfred and Commissioner Gordon were always the same people, I think.
Yeah,
it was. Yeah.
that's right. Because it was what's his name? I can't think of his name. Pat something was Commissioner Gordon.
Garrett-
Benatar.
Pat Benatar.
Yeah. Patrick
They're
Benatar.
running with the shadows of the night. Batman is the shadow of the night. That's where we got it from. Neil Giraldo was in it too, I think, playing guitar. I don't know what's going on anymore.
Not getting any of the credit for all the songs. He
No.
wrote, 'cause everyone knows his wife.
Yeah.
His wife is
Who's
the one
it,
everybody
man?
knows.
Where'd she find this fantastic guitar player? Oh, he writes
he new?
everything too.
Is that guy new?
Yeah.
That Neil Giraldo?
He writes everything too.
He's her husband and guitarist. They've been together for like 37 years.
yeah.
But no one knows who the fuck he is.
No, forever. Yeah,
Fucking
like, he
wrote
didn't-
everything.
Now he gets like when they go on.
He gets
tour
credit now
He
on the
gets,
name.
yeah,
It's Pat Benatar with Neil Giraldo.
yeah.
Was Clooney or Kilmer a worse Batman?
Clooney. I think Val Kilmer
Here's the
maybe
reason
didn't look the
why.
part as much,
Kilmer-
but I think he
No.
had the character down a little bit.
Here's the reason why I think the Clooney was worse. I never saw.
Oh no, I'm saying Kilmer's better than Clooney.
I never saw
Clooney's the worst.
I never saw Clooney. I never saw the movie.
Give it up, Frieza.
I never saw the movie that Clooney did.
Yeah.
Batman. He looked so stupid in that with the mask on that I couldn't watch it.
See, I
His
thought-
face was all round looking and it just looked stupid. Didn't
I
even
thought
look
Clooney
chiseled.
was a better Batman. But
I didn't watch it because he looked so stupid with that cowl on that I just never watched it. Because his face was like super round. It wasn't all chiseled like a Batman should look, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. When you saw Keaton or Kilmer out of the cowl, I thought that they looked like Bruce Wayne. Whereas when I saw George Clooney out of the cowl, I'm like, that's fucking George Clooney. I didn't think of Bruce Wayne.
That's exactly
And
how
even though Val
like,
Kilmer doesn't really look like the Bruce Wayne character, I still think he had some of the mannerisms down. And Clooney straight up said that he was the worst Batman and he probably ruined the franchise for a while.
I'm very curious how Pattinson's going to go.
I like Robert Pattinson, so I don't know.
I do too.
He don't want to lift weights. So
Yeah,
That's
he,
right.
and he shouldn't have to because the whole time he's going to be either in a suit or a bat suit.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're doing a lot of shirtless scenes, what's the point of working out too much?
And
But-
if we're working shirtless scenes into Batman, what are we doing?
yeah, well, I mean, not that he didn't work out, he just wasn't doing like heavy weights, so he wasn't getting all huge, but he was still doing training.
I don't need another Christian Bale.
No,
Like, I
don't even.
need that.
Well, but I mean, if it is Batman, he's supposed to be bigger, but
Well, it's also supposed to be like year.
But then
two-
again, Val
year two
Kilmer
of
and-
Batman.
yeah, Val Kilmer and Michael Keaton weren't big guys. So
saw Christopher Reeve when he was bulking up to be Superman back in the day.
I never realized how much weight he put on to be Superman.
Yeah,
Like,
he said he was I
He was
didn't know
always-
that I was a string bean and I had to put on a lot of weight here.
He had to dye his hair too because they.
but he put on like 40 pounds.
Because I remember seeing him in like something afterward when he did the suit. And I was a kid and I saw a movie he was in. I'm like, why is his hair so different?
Didn't realize he put some shoe polish in his hair.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, because
He did the Elvis thing.
Because I was like 8. You know?
John Dillinger would put it on his soap bar, and gun.
But I guess I see from that point, they're like, oh, it's supposed to be like year 1 or year 2 of Batman. Maybe Pattinson, that's why he's doing it. But it's not like he's not training. He's still training to do the fighting and stuff, and he's going to be in shape. He's just not going to be enormous.
Well, he
doesn't want to take steroids at all. He said, he's like,
no,
and that's what you have to do to get those roles.
Yeah,
like people like Tom Hardy, get out of here with Bane. That dude was on roids, no doubt.
No, man, they showed his diet.
See fucking Hemsworth playing Hulk Hogan.
Hemsworth's a weird one though, because I think his body is.
Well, he has good genetics.
He has very good genetics, but
his dad is like a pretty old man, and he's like pretty built. He's a surfer.
He was already built pretty big anyway. Right?
But he's definitely on shit because there's only so.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, dude.
Was it Craig that posted that to the group?
Big fucking boulder shoulders. Fuck.
Let me see if I can find it. Also, who? Oh, was that you that posted a dude van?
Yeah, I saw that driving home today from work.
At first when I saw it, I'm like, it's gonna be Jovi fan, isn't it? The lady who drives around with the Jovi fan.
What?
It's definitely dude van.
This guy has a van, and his license plate just says "dude van."
Oh, sweet. That's not a dude van.
That was at Martin and Grossbeck, right?
That's not a dude van, though.
Yeah, I could tell.
Sorry.
But then Craig posted this, and this is Hemsworth working out, and he might be on something.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, he's in shape. And Chris Pratt said something below it. It's like, just heard from my trainer, he needs you to stop working out because since we're in the same movie, we can't make me look too bad.
How many Hemsworths are there?
3.
There's 3?
Yeah.
Liam.
One just did Westworld.
Chris.
And nothing else, really.
And I can't think what the third one is.
I don't know. There's Chris, and then there's the one that
Liam.
was married to
Crazy
Cyrus.
Cyrus.
That shit crazy.
And then there's the third one that did Westworld. He's actually really good in that show, but
yeah. Like I said, I didn't know shit about the other one because, or the other two I didn't.
Yeah.
Luke.
I only knew of that Liam, right?
Liam is the one with the beard.
only knew about him because he was married to batshit crazy.
Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Luke is the other one, and he's the shortest one.
Oh well.
And he's also might be the oldest one.
Chris Hemsworth playing Hulk Hogan is going to be amazing.
That's why I'm wondering if, I know he's playing Hulk Hogan, and he has to get big for that because Hulk Hogan's obviously like 4 inches tall.
He says he's having a hard time getting the vocal part of it down.
Well, yeah, that's
Well,
probably.
yeah, he's like, "Oh, brother, how you doing?"
He's
That's
also
easy.
he's Australian, so it's hard for him to tamper that back to get like that
Well,
bullshit.
yeah, but Hulk Hogan's from Florida. Australia is kind of the Florida of the rest of the world.
Yeah,
Right. It's it's the Florida of the whole.
He said getting it into the shape for like the body's not hard. It's doing the voice.
So what are they doing? Like a
biopic. Same guy that did Joker.
Hogan
Oh,
back
I
in the
didn't
day,
know
if you watched him before he became Hulk Hogan, he was Terry Boulder. He had a Southern accent,
Oh yeah. Well, that's
I'm-
just northern Florida.
and he's like, "I'm gonna put the super Southern squeeze on you, Daddy." He had did the whole like, sound like
Terry Boulder.
Terry Boulder. Look it up,
Yeah.
Terry Boulder.
Yeah. Well, his last name's Balea, right, or something like that.
yeah.
Yeah. So
What about
Terry
him talking
Boulder.
to his son when his son was in fucking jail?
Oh yeah,
What now?
That shit was so awkward.
Oh, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
His son was in.
his son killed his friend.
Yeah,
The car wreck.
Hulk Hogan's son?
yeah.
I missed that completely. Okay.
Nick Hogan.
yeah.
I know. Yeah, I didn't realize.
Yeah,
Did he get off? Of course he did.
But like the way Hogan was talking was like,
Yeah, he's in prison. Of course he got off.
We'll get you out of this.
About
We'll be
Mr.
fine.
Bass for
Here's how his voice used to be.
One of the most tragic events in his life is just about to take place this Monday when I get my hands on him. There's just been a little bit of a problem. Where we come from, there's a bad junkyard dog in Port Tampa, and he was always beating on all the little dogs and biting on their ears and everything. And all of a sudden, a little bit bigger dog came along. And last Monday in Memphis, my brother dropped so many elbows on Mr. Bass's head that his
Look at their
eyes
hair.
kind of like goofy grape. You know?
Yeah.
Well, now
That hair's
Mr.
terrible.
Bass is running scared because the big dog's got on him. Well, there's just a little bit bigger dog that's after you, brother, and that's me. And this Monday night in Memphis, Daddy, when I get a hold of you, Mr. Bass, I'm going to take you and bury your head right in the mat, brother. I'm going to teach you a little bit of a wrestling lesson and a little respect for these good people around here. I'm going to put the super southern squeeze on you, daddy.
He wasn't a very good talker, though. He kept on messing shit up.
Yeah, he's like, they put so many eyes, elbows.
Yeah.
He's trying to do the Dusty Rhodes. With
The southern.
All right. Now you brought up Dusty Rhodes. Is that his kid that's on that
Yes.
AEW?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
Cody?
his son, Cody.
Yeah, now he's like on some other show or something.
Cody.
He
Cody's
runs
great.
AEW.
Yeah,
But
Cody-
he's on some other. He's on some show now too, on like network TV.
Yeah, some kind of TBS like
I don't know.
TNT like game show.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. It's like some.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hasn't started yet. I don't think. But the host is Bert Kreischer.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, I did
man.
hear about that. That's right.
Wow.
I like Bert.
That'd be fun.
It's supposed to be like people doing goofy shit, you know, and
I want to go back to the Hemsworths.
yes.
Go ahead.
The Hemsworths.
So there's 3. Luke is the oldest and also the shortest and the ugliest. So that poor unfortunate soul.
And so
He
he's
just did Westworld. That's all
Yeah.
he's done.
yeah.
So he's probably
not-
still really good looking by normal standards, though.
Yeah, I mean maybe, but he's not even 6 foot, so it's like pff.
Yeah.
No. He's
Need to put like
he'll
people,
have
like, people like that into camps.
He'll have a he'll have a
Well, Hemsworths like that need to go in camps. The other ones are specimens. You know, you can use them to clone, make super soldiers.
he'll have a moderately successful career.
I mean, he's already 40. He's got to get a late start.
He's Frank
Yeah.
Stallone,
He is Frank Stallone.
or what was the one? Daniel Baldwin.
yeah.
He's like that.
I forgot about Daniel Baldwin.
Chad Lowe,
Chad Lowe, yeah.
Hey, Chad. No.
Chris Penn.
Hey,
Chris Penn was actually good though. I
was in
like Chris
Footloose.
Penn. He was in Footloose.
Best of the best, of course.
Yeah, best.
1
yeah.
and 2.
Yep. So yeah, actually, I don't want. Let's not use him because he was good. I liked him.
Yeah.
Isn't he dead?
Yeah,
He died.
Yep.
He
Rest
did
in
die.
peace. I
So,
thought he was a good actor.
oh, that's right. Daniel's not the oldest.
We said Daniel Baldwin, Stephen Baldwin, Billy Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin.
How about any of the Baldwins? They're
Yeah.
all like all their careers were nothing over Alec.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's no contest.
Yeah.
Alec won that one.
William at one time made a run.
Yeah, the early to
Yeah,
mid 90s.
yeah.
And
He had a cool-
Flatliners and Backdraft.
And
He-
Sliver.
Yeah.
He had a good run.
That-
Yeah, he tried. Yeah, he tried.
Well,
But
hey, that fits into the coworkers that hate each other.
Yeah.
Sharon Stone, they said she was so awful to him,
Oh, yeah.
and she was just a complete cunt.
oh, when they did Sliver together,
Yeah. Forgot about
And they were doing a makeout scene, and she bit his lip.
she's probably because he wouldn't. He probably because he wouldn't fucking throw it to her, so she was a bitch to him.
Well,
I don't know.
You know the best part of that movie is
Hmm.
is the UB40 song that came out of that movie,
What movie?
The Sliver, with William Baldwin and Sharon Stone, where he was like a voyeur filming people in his building and stuff
Did I hear you guys talking about fucking Flatliners for a minute?
because of
there?
William Baldwin again.
Yeah.
But yeah, they didn't get along. William Baldwin and Sharon Stone did not get along. But the only thing that came out of that movie that people remember maybe is the UB40 song that was a cover of the Elvis song, I Can't Help
Yeah.
Falling in Love with You. It came from that movie because he was obsessed with her. He couldn't help but falling in love with her. You made me think another one because I posted something about the Friends reunion a couple days ago that probably won't happen because of the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And I said something about Jennifer Aniston's nipples. And she was really bad to Jay Moore. They did a movie together
Oh, really?
in like late 90s.
Yeah.
Picture Perfect.
Yeah.
Maybe early 2000s. So they cast him instead of Tate Donovan, who she was dating at the time.
Yeah.
And she didn't like it. So instead of taking it out on the people who didn't cast Tate Donovan, she took it out on Jay Moore and was an absolute cunt to him.
Which makes sense.
Yep.
Hey, man.
Totally rational
Yeah,
behavior.
totally rational.
One of the more famous ones is Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey in Dirty Dancing.
Yeah, they didn't.
They didn't get along because he thought she goofed off too much, and
He was a very serious.
when it
dancer
came
and
down
actor.
to it, he thought she just wasted time on the set.
Yeah.
Also, he doesn't move his arms when he walked. Patrick Swayze. That's part of his walk. When he got angry and walked, he didn't move his arms. He just walked and he moved his shoulders,
It was an injury.
but he didn't move his arms.
Just in that movie, though.
No,
It was an injury.
it was a common thing. He did it in Roadhouse. He did it
I'm
in a
going to have
bunch
to
of movies.
rewatch Roadhouse, and Outsiders.
Roadhouse.
Yeah, when they were walking to the Rumble and stuff, he was doing the walk and he was
I gotta
moving his
wa-
shoulders.
I gotta watch Tu Wong Fu. Thank for everything, Joe.
Yeah.
I never watched that movie, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up. I bet you it's a thing in the Patrick Swayze walk. Patrick Swayze.
And Patrick Swayze walk.
All right.
Dalton.
Well, are we just grasping to make it to 1 o'clock on this?
No, we're done. We can finish up.
We can wrap it up anytime.
Because we're talking about Patrick
About-
Swayze's like walk without moving our.
Walk.
Yeah, walk.
No, it was good stuff. It was good stuff.
Move your arms.
Move them.
He does it. It's a walk. He does it. It's almost like he's like trying to imitate John Wayne a little bit.
It's an injury. It's an old dance industry.
Well, I knew he injured his leg.
Injury.
No, he did. He almost had his leg amputated from
I
a
know.
freak injury,
And
but
that caused.
that didn't cause him not to move his shoulders when he walked.
So I guess Jay's leaving. I guess we'll just do the sign off.
All right.
Oh, Jay, you leaving?
Yeah. All right, quitter.
Next week's Thanksgiving. You won't be here.
That's fine.
Are we?
I mean,
Yeah.
it's the week of Thanksgiving.
We can do the podcast, but we can't do Thanksgiving.
What?
Well, there's less than 10 people here.
So we're just sticking. We're just Saturday, right? We're doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We won't do like we did last year.
Well,
We did 2 shows in 1 week.
Yeah.
But I think we did that so 100 would land on the right, or
Yeah.
the 50 would end up on the right day. Oh.
Yeah, snow that's not going to stick.
It's
to
not going to say.
anything.
It's going to start tonight, though.
It's just snow that's going to melt. It's not going to stick. I mean, it was 60 degrees 3 days
All
ago.
snow melts.
Yeah, but it's going to melt immediately. It's not going to.
Just unhooked my hoses and turned my water off.
Shit.
But you know what's going to happen? In 10 days from now, it's going to be 65 degrees.
Probably.
And you're going to want to water your
I'm
lawn.
going to keep spreading up.
You're gonna want to water your
Let's sign it off. Let's do it. See you later.
And see you guys. See you, Jay.
All right, Jay.
I got to actually go down to the outro. Sorry.
Bye.
Radio Underground. Check us out on social media or don't.
Recorded in the pits of Detroit, Michigan. Your ass is listening to